Trojans have won this game. They scored 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes to go. 1:50 remaining on the clock. Southeast of Saline might have been written off. They were down by 8 points, 28-20, but Southeast of Saline scores the last 16 points in this game, and the Trojans win their second state title in school history, and they win it 36-28.
This is Countdown to Kickoff for Southeast of Saline Trojan football on KINA Sports. Coming up, you'll get a preview of area games, analysis on tonight's matchups, and hear from the coach. Now, let's head to the stadium. Countdown to Kickoff starts now on KINA and worldwide on Salina Post.
Last week, Southeast of Saline took on an old familiar foe, the Russell Broncos. The game on a Friday night here at Gypsum went just as planned for Southeast of Saline as they were able to start the season 10-0 for the 5th consecutive season. Now the Trojans turn their attention to a foe that's not so familiar in the Phillipsburg Panthers. These two teams have only tangled one time in school history. That was 20 years ago in 2005. Southeast of Saline made a stop through Phillipsburg on their way to a state title. Now this year's edition of the Trojans will have to do the same, though they have it here on their home field. Southeast of Saline will have to get by the Panthers to take the next step. Hi and welcome in to Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. My name is Devin Haney. I'll have play-by-play of tonight's contest. With me in the booth will be Tyler Smith, producing and engineering back at KINA Studios in Salina. It's Chris Cadle and Nick Garst. Producing live stream video tonight, free of charge, is Brian Dennett. 44-12 was the final score last week as Southeast of Saline got rid of the Russell Broncos. Russell came out of the gates and scored first, so they would leave the point after touchdown off the field, and Russell would leave 6-0. A one-play drive, and 64 yards later, Grady Gebhardt's in the end zone. Southeast of Saline would get their point after and take the victory 44-12, cruising on over 500 yards of total offense. Southeast of Saline will give up some yards on defense. It was their biggest total given up on the season, 327 total yards, though they only gave up 12 points to the Broncos. Now Southeast of Saline turns their attention to the Phillipsburg Panthers. Panthers come in 7-3 on the season, though starting 1-2, those two losses were by a total of 3 points. If you look at the total 3 losses for the Panthers this season, they are to 3 teams that right now are combined 25-4. This is a veteran team with a lot of seniors. They love to run the football, and they will come out and be kind of the anti-Russell tonight. Where Russell threw the ball a lot, Phillipsburg will keep it on the ground and try to flex their flexbone offense. Coming up here on Countdown to Kickoff, we'll talk about a bunch of different things coming up. Mitch Gebhardt coming up in segment 3, brought to you by Frisbee Construction. Coming up next, though, we'll peel the curtain back and take a look at the Panther football team. Coming in with Jason Gross. He's the voice of the Phillipsburg Panthers on KKAN 1190 in Phillipsburg. That's all coming up. When we come back, Countdown to Kickoff is underway for Southeast of Saline Trojan football, and it's brought to you by Ellenville Advisors. It's open enrollment time for Medicare. You may have strangers calling your phone or even knocking on your door. Make sure you rely on the experts that you know and trust at L&L Advisors. 3 locations, 2 in Salina on Roach Street over by Salina Stadium, also at the Central Mall Salina, also in downtown McPherson. Their 4th newest location is in Manhattan. That's L&L Advisors. Also, considerations paid for tonight by Technical Consulting. They offer product management, system design, networking, backup solutions, IT strategy, and client relationship services across industries, including legal, financial, and medical. Microsoft and Cisco trusted partners, that's Technical Consulting, along with Kansas Bankers Technologies. All proud supporters of Southeast of Saline Athletics in this game here tonight. It's the 11th of the season for Southeast of Saline. Back with more Countdown to Kickoff worldwide on Salina Post and locally right here on KINA.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
You're listening to Trojan Football.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, getting ready for Trojan football. Southeast of Saline tonight at home, taking on the Phillipsburg Panthers, just the second time in school history as we take a look behind enemy lines and what's been going on with the Panthers in this week of preparation. We'll lean on Jason Gross. He is the voice of the Phillipsburg Panthers at KKAN 1190, also Phillipsburg TV, as you look for it on YouTube and find the video. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you today?
Doing very well. Looking forward to this football game here tonight between two really good football teams. Let's look at this Panther squad. 7-3 coming in, but boy, you start out 1-2 with Phillipsburg, and those two losses early on in the season, a total of 3 points. Take that a step further, and in those three losses, those three teams right now coming into tonight are 25-4. I think when you talk about competition, Phillipsburg has seen it so far this season, haven't they?
They definitely have. The NCL and the scheduling that Phillipsburg High School has done the NCL is always a tough juggernaut. You know, it's rivalry week every single week there in the NCL conference. And then traveling down to Pratt this year was an amazing learning experience for us and for the boys, you know, just prepping on how to come off of that bus and be ready.
Level of teams that you've seen, you mentioned Pratt, Smith Center, they're undefeated coming into tonight. TMP was the other loss that Phillipsburg was taken this year, again in the first 3 weeks of the season, 2 losses. But you and I kind of talked off air. We're both kind of film junkies. We both watch a lot of video. When I look at this Phillipsburg team, I see a team that just seems to have gotten better and better and more confident in their system as the season goes on. Do you see that as well?
Every loss is a bad loss, but a good loss, I guess I should say. It would have been the Pratt game. Our offense really, really came together and molded, and that mesh there with the flex zone offense that we run took another level. And then we've seen that throughout the last 4 weeks where they've just continued to grind out and get those big plays from that 3 yards in a cloud of dust type offense there with the flex zone.
You talk about the flex bone. This is an offense for Phillipsburg, Jason. They average almost 38 points a game. Tell me about the offense and who are some names that we're going to hear an awful lot tonight.
Starting with their quarterback, Colin Springer, senior-led. They're very heavy seniors. All 4 of the starters in that backfield are seniors. Definitely led there by Colin Springer. He'll go under center most of the time, 90%. He can throw. With our offense, we don't. And then you look to that fullback, Blake Burish, coming off of that good loss there to Pratt, has been nothing short of spectacular, averaging around 200, 215 yards per game, and 2 to 3 touchdowns. And then when teams try to go run heavy and load that box, then we've got our speedsters with Tanner Herenick and Cade Schwinn as our A-backs that really like to get out and stretch the field.
Yeah, it really seems like this offense, as you said, can be multifaceted. They're just so darn good at running the ball. That's what they lean on most of the time. When we flip the page here, Jason, and look at the Panthers on defense, who are some guys to look for there tonight?
Definitely number 6, Cooper Gower, right there in the middle. Likes to get in and get after it, running in the trenches. Very, very, very. We've been very, very disciplined the last 3-4 weeks on defense, not going more to a bend, don't break mentality. Let the teams get their yards because they're going to get yards. We're facing better opponents the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then giving the other playmakers like Cade Schwinn, outside linebacker, loves to fly around. Everybody's been doing a great job of gang tackling as well, and that's what you have to have late in the season to move on.
Should be a fun game here tonight between Southeast of Salina and Phillipsburg. Just curious, when you get ready for this game and folks around town in Phillipsburg, you're coming into Southeast of Salina Stadium. What are the viewpoints and what are some of the opinions on Southeast of Salina that you've had?
You look back through their record, they haven't lost a regular season game since 2019, I believe, maybe 2018. So they're a juggernaut. They've obviously bought into the system there that Coach Gebhardt has, and they're very very well-oiled machine. So not just trying to rely on stopping Gebhardt and his running attack, but looking at Potashik and what he does out of the backfield. You guys kind of have that two-headed monster where you can run pass equally.
This game tonight, another big step in the process of the playoffs, I should say. Tell me your keys to success tonight for Phillipsburg to come out with a victory.
For me, it's maintain possession of the ball. Continue. If we get quick scores, that's great. We've got to match scores with the juggernaut, because Southeast of Saline comes in averaging right at 58 points a game, I believe. They're prone to scoring a lot of points, and they know that. So if we can match toe-to-toe with them and just stay in that same league, I guess, right now.
It's Jason Gross. He's the voice of the Phillipsburg Panthers on KKAN 1190, also Phillipsburg TV. If you look for the video on YouTube, it'll be up there along with ours as well. Plenty of places to take in the game tonight, Jason. I sure appreciate you spending time with us. Have a good call tonight.
Yes, thank you, and you have a great call as well.
That's Jason Gross with a perspective on things from Phillipsburg's side of the ball. KKAN 1190 in Phillipsburg. Here at home, Sage products all over the place. When you look at the brand new restrooms and look at the concession stands, products from Sage, from wall to wall, ceiling to floor. It's the home field advantage here at Southeast of Saline. If you want the same products for your office or even your home, SageSelects.com. Gabe and everybody at Sage Products will take very good care of you. And don't forget, winter weather is coming, though it doesn't feel that way tonight. Ice melt from Sage is the best there is, and they always have plenty of it available. They won't sell out. Get your ice melt at Sage Products in Salina. Coming up, Mitch Gebhardt right around the corner as we get ready for kickoff. Coming down the line here on KINA.
Are you looking to upgrade your home with high-quality flooring and appliances? Look no further than Salina Appliance and Flooring. We're your one-stop shop for all your home improvement needs. We offer a wide selection of flooring and appliance options. Visit our showroom today located at 740 North 9th or our website at salinaappliance.com.
The Appliance Center, your local, trustworthy, and family-owned appliance dealer, providing sales, service, and parts for Salina and the surrounding area since 1980. The Appliance Center, just north of Ace Hardware on Broadway in the red and white building. Stop in today and experience the Appliance Center difference.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football.
Back here on Southeast of Saline pregame, getting ready for another playoff matchup here at home on the campus of Southeast of Saline. Tonight, the Trojans take on the Panthers of Phillipsburg for just the second time in school history. Joining us now, head coach Mitch Gebhardt of the Southeast Trojans. And boy, coach, an exciting matchup once again. Of course, when you get to this time of year, they're all exciting. But this one here, just not a lot of history. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Let's first look back to the game last week against the Russell Broncos. Big victory again here at home to take the next step. Again, 10-0, a big start on the season. And I thought about that a little bit yesterday, and there's a lot of teams that would love to go 10-0. You've made it a repetitive process here in the last few years. Boy, sometimes you just got to step back and appreciate what's going on. I know you don't have time to do that right now, getting ready for another game, but just tell me about the game last week against Russell and your overall thoughts against the Broncos.
Well, I thought our kids did a good job. Obviously, Russell came out and scored a touchdown early, and we got behind. But I think our kids did a good job of adjusting to what they were doing. They had a nice pass game. Quarterback did a good job, and they got some long, lanky receivers that we didn't match up real well against. But I thought after we got in the groove of the game, I thought our defense did a really good job against a high-powered offense. To hold them to 12 points. And then I really felt like our offense did a good job of moving the football. We ran the ball a little more last week than we do a lot of times, but we always try to take what teams are giving us, and we felt like that was a good option for us to do that. So, I thought our guys did a good job with that. So.
One of the big questions coming into the game was whether their usual starting quarterback was going to play or not. He was questionable, got banged up against Beloit. And when he plays, they're a totally different team, I think. They leaned more on the run without him than they did with him. Was that a challenge preparing for two different types of a Bronco offense when you get ready to play that game last week?
Well, I really feel like we did a good job of preparing for what he was going to do. We really felt like he'd be back. So, I felt like we did a good job of doing that. And then when we got here and he was warming up and everything else, we knew what he was going to do. But I feel like we did a really good job against the run game and felt like we could. And after we got things kind of squared away, we did a better job against their passing game.
327 yards you give up, but I want to talk about your defense against that running game because I felt like that's still what they wanted to do to set things up. They went about the running game a couple of different ways. They'd have a power game up the middle and then kind of used a wing back or a wide receiver to run some stretch plays. And you're right, your defense did extremely good against that rushing game, only giving up 60 yards.
Yeah, and I really felt like rushing game, and then after they got inside the 20, I felt like our kids, the field kind of shortened up on them. And they didn't have quite as much room to maneuver, and we did a really good job. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 times we stopped them after they got inside the 20. And, those are big stops for us. We haven't had to do that a lot this year, and to get three of those against a pretty good Russell team, I feel good about that.
Yeah, we talked after the game. Tyler Smith made the comment to you about kind of a bend but don't break defense. The yardage was there. You gave up the yardage, 327 yards. But when you dig into the numbers, third down, Russell was 2 of 9. On fourth down, they were 2 of 6. You just didn't give up the points.
Yeah, and I think that's after they got inside the 20, I feel like our defense was very, very good, obviously, and we obviously you don't want to give up that many yards in a game or anything like that, but the bottom line is you want to keep them out of the end zone, and our kids did a good job.
Flip it to the other side of the field, 20 first downs for your offense, 4 of 4 on third down, over 500 yards once again. Tell me about your offense and their performance last week.
Well, I thought, I think it starts with the offensive line. A lot of those were rushing yards, and our offensive line was doing a nice job of picking up who they needed to. And you don't run for that many yards if you don't have blocking downfield. And I felt like both of those situations, our kids did a very good job. It helps when you start the game off with a 60-yard touchdown run. And then that momentum kind of just perpetuates throughout the rest of the game. But I thought our blocking downfield was outstanding last week.
That first touchdown run, I want to talk to you about that because you use the word momentum. Russell comes out, and I mean, let's be honest, all week preparing for this, kind of looking down the road probably a couple weeks. We're going to play the defending state champs. We're going to go into their place. They came in with a lot of juice, get the opening possession. They go down and they score. They're up by 6 points, and then you make one handoff, and all of a sudden you're up by 2 points. I mean, that was a deflator on their side, wasn't it? It had to be.
Well, they had a nice drive. I'm not going to lie. They had a really nice drive and hit about a 40-yard touchdown pass after they've got 2 or 3 first downs there, and I feel like they probably did have the momentum. But our kids have been in a lot of different situations. We've been behind before, and our kids felt really confident in what we were doing, and to be able to score a touchdown like that was a big deal for us.
Big game on the ground, as you said, 454 yards. Grady Gebhardt had 341 of those yards, 25 carries. That's not even close to 25 carries in any other game so far this year. What did you see other than just a dominant offensive line that you've showcased all year that gave you confidence you were able to run the football?
Well, we felt like we could get some of the kids out of position, and we'd be able to run the football on them, and through our formations and some things like that. And we felt like we did a good job of that. I also felt like we got those guys blocked up on the line. That we'd have a good. I didn't know if we'd have the long runs, but I thought we'd have 10, 20-yard runs, and that's a good way to get first downs and things like that. But with the blocking downfield in those situations, and Grady making good reads. And then the other guys that ran the football too. I mean, we had a lot of guys with some yards. So, I felt like our kids did a nice job with the run game.
When's the last time you remember this time of year? It's kind of a unique situation where you have a game with no turnovers on either side.
Yeah, it's crazy, and to not get some because we're kind of used to getting a turnover here or there. But I'm pretty proud of our kids to make sure we're taking care of the football and not turn it over, because turnover can be a huge thing this time of year.
You and I talked a little bit about their big wide receivers and the quarterback that they would have that would start. He'd put the ball in the air and they'd go make some plays, and they did. And I feel like the difference between the way the game started and the rest of the game was just pressure on the quarterback. You guys came in with 12 quarterback sacks. You had 6 in this game from 5 different guys. Brody Chambers had 2 of those. Tell me about the pressure and how that kind of swung things around for you as well.
And that's what we needed to do. Early on, we weren't getting to him, and we were a little afraid of him getting outside the pocket and making big plays. Well, we dialed up the pressure a little bit more on him and tried to keep him pinned in there a little bit. And when we started doing that, we started getting sacks. So credit to our kids making that adjustment and getting themselves back there and chasing around a little bit. I thought those 3 guys up front were completely relentless.
Yeah.
If you watch film on them, Drew Weller, Brody Chambers, and Tristan Swank, I thought they were just stayed with it. I mean, that guy's good at maneuvering around and getting out of things and then making plays downfield. And I thought those guys, they might get knocked down, but they were right back up chasing him and did an outstanding job.
44-12, you get the victory. Now 10-0 on the season. You move on to the next round, and it just every week we cut the field in half. And you look around the state of Kansas, 72 football games last week. This week we have 36 football games. We're getting there pretty quick. How'd your week of preparation go this week?
Well, I'm going to talk about the weather for just a minute.
Yeah,
this weather's been crazy for mid-November. Yeah, when you're wearing shorts at practice in mid-November, it's a crazy thing. But that's what we've been doing. It's outstanding. The kids have a lot of energy, and they're excited about the momentum that we're building here. And our practices have been very good.
I've been curious about that too with the weather, because we anticipate some sort of chill by this time of year, and it just hasn't been there. I mean, you go outside, you feel good, you play good, you practice good. I mean, every team is in that, but just can you see in your guys with the way they come out? I mean, it has that nice little cool off when the sun starts going down. I mean, it's a great evening, isn't it?
It really is, and it can't get much better than that. I mean, it's a little bit of a breeze once in a while, and the weather being warm like that. And I think our kids are excited. We talk about the weather, and it doesn't make any difference what the weather is and those type of things. So I think our kids would be excited regardless if it's raining and 32 degrees or 74 degrees and sun shining. But it's a great thing to have nice weather.
Face a Phillipsburg team tonight, as we mentioned earlier. Only one time in school history these two teams have hooked up. That was back in the 2005 campaign, where Southeast of Saline was able to win a state title, 20th anniversary of that. And boy, the Panthers, we've been close to playing them in the playoffs, just haven't got there. What do you know about Phillipsburg and this football team?
Well, I mean, they're traditionally very, very good. Obviously, we go clear back to 2005, and that group of guys won a state championship, and they had to go up to Phillipsburg and beat Phillipsburg, and they won it. I believe it was in 14-15 or 15-16. And they've just been outstanding all along. We just haven't matched up, but they are traditionally sound, and they play fundamentally sound, and they're going to be a physical team, and they're going to try to run the football, and they're going to play good defense. So we got to be as prepared as possible when they roll in here.
It's classic high school playoff football, isn't it, Coach? Your preparation last week has nothing to do with this game when you're going against a team that'll spread it out and pass it. Now you're going against a flex-bone run-dominant team.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's just the way playoffs are. That's why you do all those things in the summer and all those things before the season really starts, to make sure we're ready for whatever somebody throws at us. And obviously, we've played a lot of different teams, this season and in the past. So we feel like we'll get our kids prepared for that, but you never know.
Time to take one more step here against the Phillipsburg Panthers as they come in. What are your keys to success? We talked about no turnovers last week. I know that's another one of your keys. You want to duplicate that on your side anyway. What are the other keys for tonight's game?
Yeah, and you're right. We got to start with not turning the ball over. We need to get first downs and score touchdowns. When a team takes their time and runs that flex bone and does a good job with it, they're gonna eat a lot of the clock. So when we have the opportunity to score, we need to get first downs, and then we need to get the ball in the end zone on offense. However we need to do that. Defensively, we got to be disciplined. We got to make sure we're where we're supposed to be, because if not, they're going to get the ball to the guy that nobody's there to tackle. So we got to make sure we're disciplined and take care of that. And then special teams. I think special teams, and as the season progresses and moves down, especially in the playoffs, a big special teams play here or there can really sway a game. So we just got to be fundamentally sound throughout the game.
Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight taking on Phillipsburg to try to get to the next round and make it to the final 4 teams in Class 2A. Coach, best of luck to you. We'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, thank you, Devin.
That's our pregame chat with head coach Mitch Gebhardt, brought to you by Frisbee Construction as we get ready for the 11th game of the season for Southeast of Saline Trojan football. Our road to kickoff brought to you tonight by Long MacArthur Ford in Salina. Ready, set, Ford at Long MacArthur Ford just announced last week 0% on brand new F-150s. Long MacArthur has over 100 trucks in stock with 0% for 60 months, plus no payments until February of 2026. It includes all brand new F-150s from Roush and Long MacArthur Performance. 0% for 60 months. Go to Long MacArthur Ford in Salina. Back with more pregame. The kickoff is right around the corner after this on KINA.
Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knauf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knauf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
It is third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back into the campus of Southeast of Saline. Countdown to Kickoff brought to you by L&L Advisors. We are just about ready to get underway. Live stream video on SalinaPost.com tonight, presented by LilyPad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms. If you're watching on SalinaPost.com, you can see the coin toss at the middle of the field. And in the vintage Southeast of Saline letter jacket, Matt Carr. He's a proud Southeast of Saline School alumnus, class of 1997, and United States Naval Academy alumni, class of 2001. Graduating with a bachelor's degree in aero and aerospace engineering. Matt is also a former United States Marine Infantry and Special Operations Raider officer, promoted to the rank of major after serving 12 years, primarily in support of various operations, Iraqi freedom, and enduring freedom combat deployments. In short, Matt is a badass, and he is here.
Raw.
Yeah, holy cow, man. There's so much more I can read on Matt, and we will go over that and touch base again at halftime. I think he deserves at least that. But the coin toss is going on at midfield. It is Phillipsburg and Southeast of Saline. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 36 games around the state of Kansas tonight, and we are fortunate to be at one of them. Glad you're along for the ride here on KINA. Phillipsburg comes in. They are 7-3. Southeast of Saline, your defending Class 2A state champions. They are 10-0. Tyler Smith, your New Image Audio, keys to success tonight for Southeast of Saline.
Devin, it doesn't matter what sport or what year you're playing Phillipsburg in. They're going to be fast, they're going to be physical, and they're going to be extremely well coached. And that the first thing you look at is there a sides there. Is there a Trey sides, a Ty sides, a Taryn sides? Yeah. We've seen, blowing things up for K-State basketball right now. There's not. That's the first thing you look at. But this team's going to be extremely well coached. You're going to see the flex bone. You're going to see them be patient with the clock. I'm assuming they're going to try to run the play clock down. They're going to try to bleed as many seconds out as they can. And they're going to try to matriculate that ball down the field just slowly and methodically. So if you're Southeast, you're going to rely on the box, right? Defensively, you need to make sure your defensive linemen are understanding their assignments. Your linebackers are cleaning everything up. And if anything breaks loose, you have a great defensive backfield. Offensively, continue to do what you're doing. Feed Grady Gebhardt the ball. Devin Haney, there's no pretenders left anymore right now.
Yeah.
Like everybody playing football tonight deserves to be where they are. It kind of feels like real life football.
4 teams in each class coming into tonight, 36 games around the state of Kansas. We'll touch on some of those and keep you updated on the scoreboard as we go through. Phillipsburg comes in at 7-3, and a rarity to start a game. Southeast of Saline on the receiving end. That has not happened very often this season, and Phillipsburg will kick it away. Cleveland Corman with his hand in the air. Phillipsburg with their white tops, blue pants, and that blue helmet with a gold P on the side. It's received here by Tyler Bramblett.
He's trying to stretch it from right to left, and he is tackled. His ankle's taken out at the 28-yard line, and that's where Southeast of Saline's offense will start under the direction of Tiernan Potacek. Tiernan comes out. He's a junior quarterback. In front of him, Tristan Swank, Drew Weller, along with Killian Vaughn, Brody Chambers, and Garrett Kuhn on that offensive line. Caden Berrigan, Bryson Lippold, Malachi Hopkins, Kenyon Douglas, Amarion Holub, and Grady Gebhardt will be the skill players around that line for Southeast of Saline. Trojans start out at their own 28-yard line. First down and 10, and we are underway here in this football game. Snap back to Potacek. He wants to throw it out right-hand side. It's a screen play to Kenyon Douglas. Here goes KD, rolling over a Panther, and he gets 10 yards on the first play from scrimmage. Stretch play via pass out to the right, and a first down for Southeast of Saline, or close. We'll see where they spot the sticks over there on the far side. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds after an 8-yard gain.
And Devin, I think that's the first time we've seen Southeast throw the ball in the first play of the game. I mean, usually we see a little read option right there. Southeast is going right back to the ball.
Here's Gebhardt into the second level, shakes off a Panther tackle. He's loose at the 50, has two blockers out in front at the 40. Gebhardt at the 30, at the 20, bumped out of bounds in the red zone. Southeast of Saline with 2 plays. They're already in the Can-Equip red zone, the Case IH red zone. Brought to you by Can-Equip in Salina.
And that second play is what we normally see as the first play. We see Grady, we see a little read option, let Tiernan kind of decide what he's going to do, but right there, just Grady gets to the outside. And you saw KB on the outside just trying to find someone to block. Good job from Phillipsburg. We normally see that thing housed right there. Got a good angle, but Southeast is right back on the line of scrimmage with the ball.
48 yards for Gebhardt on that second down and 2. Southeast of Saline with the line of scrimmage at the 16-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left. Gebhardt will take it from Potacek. Little stutter play. Has to spin out of trouble. He will get back to the line of scrimmage and gain about a half a yard, but no more than that, as Grady Gebhardt was stymied off the right-hand side. Phillipsburg coming in, getting the low leverage that time, and able to take care of business. Second down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, it looked like senior Alec Miller did a good job just keeping that leverage. And you're exactly right. It's a fundamentally sound team. Made sure that you didn't see Gebhardt get to the outside. When Gebhardt can bounce to the outside, as we saw the play previous to this, that's when he's extremely dangerous. You keep him inside the tackles. He's still dangerous, but at least gives you more guys to come get hats on the ball.
Hopkins, Berrigan, Douglas, 3 wide receivers to the left. Potacek wants to throw that way. Here's Douglas, and that play is blown up. They're going to lose 4 yards back to the 20-yard line. Southeast of Saline's receivers, they're just unable to take care of their blocks, and Kenyon Douglas will lose 5 yards on that play.
Yeah, you wonder if there's a conscious effort right now to throw the ball a little bit more. Maybe throw some things on film. Maybe see, what you can do. Expect something. Now you have a bubble and go that you can go to. There's a lot that you can still do here on 3rd and long.
They shift the trips to the right-hand side this time. Potacek is taking more time than usual. Actually, they go 5 wide receivers as Gebhardt is with Hopkins on the left-hand side. Big play here. It's 3rd down and 15. Here comes Gebhardt. He's the motion man. They'll fake the handoff to him. Potacek back to throw into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast of Saline. Over the shoulder and in the breadbasket, Bryson Lippold catches the ball for Southeast of Saline. Potacek throws a strike, and it's Lippold's 6th touchdown of the year.
What a beautiful drive, right? Everything was setting up something else. All of a sudden you've seen that's 3 pass plays on the first drive of this game. 5 plays, 2 run plays, 3 passes, and Potacek right on the money to Lippold. Big touchdown to get this game started for Southeast.
A big key in this game, the point afters. Let's see what each team wants to do here. 2 or 1. Southeast will go for 2. Grady Gebhardt taps the break, comes across to the goal line. Looked like he fell across the goal line. The official comes in and says no. Gebhardt drops his shoulders in disappointment. Southeast of Saline comes away with 6 instead of 8. 10:15 left to go. We are just underway. Southeast of Saline after the opening drive lead Phillipsburg 6-0 here on KINA.
Trojan fans, it takes fuel to win the day. When you're following our team to show that purple pride, fill your tank with gas and diesel as you're coming or going at our 24/7 pumps. And be sure to stop to get the energy you need with a hot cup of New England coffee or cocoa. Or grab a slice of your favorite Hunt Brothers pizza and snacks. Assyria Oil and Hardware is proud to support the Southeast of Saline community. Located at the corner of Center and Main in Assyria. We'll fill you up.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Here comes Phillipsburg on the return. They will have a healthy return, and they will start out here at their own 48-yard line at midfield. To recap that opening drive for Southeast of Saline, a 79-yard drive. The score came with 10:15 left to go first quarter. A 21-yard touchdown pass from Tiernan Potachik to Bryson Lippold. No two-point conversion. That scoring recap brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine and his walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings at Maury Clinic in Salina. Left hash for the Panthers. They will start out at their own 48-yard line. Flex bone offense straight up the middle to the fullback they will go. And the give for Phillipsburg that time to Blake Burrish. I guess Burrish is one of the running backs. There will be two running backs, Burrish and Herenick. The fullback will come in. He will be Caden Schwinn. And all of these guys account for 355 yards per game, Tyler. They rack up an insane amount of yardage, 54 rushing touchdowns. They average 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, and their goal tonight is just get 3 to 4 yards a pop. They want to try to break one sooner or later. We'll talk more about the flex bone later on, but here they're right back into it.
They go across to the 49. It's a 4-yard gain. Now they'll go straight up the middle once again. A tackle on the play there by Bryson Lippold just outside of the 45-yard line. It will be a gain of 1 on the play.
And they're always looking to stay ahead of the chains, right? So, we've talked about this before. On first down, you want to get 3 or 4. On second down, you want to get 3 or 4. You want to get yourself in a situation just like this. It's third. It says 3rd and 5 on the scoreboard. It's about 3rd and 4.5. That's right where they want to be, because if they can get a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, they're going to go for it.
No wideouts. There's nobody split wide. Everybody is compact, and they have one running back in the backfield. That's Burrish. He will take the carry, and he will bust through into the linebacker level and then tackled there, advancing the football to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 9 for Phillipsburg on 3rd and 4.
And we've seen some teams have early success against the Southeast defense. And again, it's one of these things. You've played against a couple flexbone teams before this, but you haven't played against a flexbone team this disciplined and this strong up front. Just right now, you just see Southeast just getting their feet wet. They're kind of dipping their toes in the water, and you'll see, defensive calls. That's another thing that you'll see a lot. Like, all of a sudden, different defensive calls will happen as the game gets later on.
See if this Southeast defense can come up with a positive play on 1st down and 10. They're going to have it on an end around. It's a stretch play. A Southeast of Saline player in the backfield, but they missed. And now a big play coming up for the Phillipsburg Panthers, and they're going to score. Getting to the outside is Tanner Herenick, and he will score from 37 yards away on his second carry of the night. Southeast nearly had that play stop, Tyler, for a 4-yard loss, unable to make the tackle. Diving attempt came up empty, and it's Tanner Herenick into the end zone for a touchdown. His 13th of the season.
So it's that normal flexbone formation. All of a sudden, Herenick comes, and it's a little like it's a reverse is what it is. And they had a lot of success last week against Haven with that play. You'll see that in their 3rd and long situation as the extra point is blocked. And again, you talk about the extra points. That's huge, especially when Southeast didn't get theirs 6-6 after that drive. But Phillipsburg has shown that they can do things offensively as well.
So the extra point kick is blocked, and Phillipsburg comes away as Tristan Swank able to block that football. We will take a break. A 30-second timeout. Back with more Trojan football. It's presented by Lily Pad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms.
The recent storm could have done a real number on your roof, but how would you know? Is your home vulnerable to future damage? Call Bryson Flax at Ryan Roofing today. An in-person roof inspection is necessary to evaluate damage. Rely on Bryson to perform a free roof assessment. Inspect, assess, and resolve. Protect your home and make sure your insurance policy provides the coverage you deserve. Roofs, windows, siding, and gutters on your home or business. Call Bryson Flax at Ryan Roofing, always supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
4-play drive for Phillipsburg. They get into the end zone on a 37-yard run by Tanner Herenick. Extra point was blocked, and we are all evened up. Each team has had the football. Each team has put 6 points on the board. 8:23 left to go. Still working our way through first quarter. Early start here. Still dark, though, at kickoff after the time change, of course. And, boy, it just feels like football, right? It's fall other than the temperature. 75 degrees today. Here's a squib kick. It's going to bounce. Southeast will pick it up. Looks like Bramblett has it. He's going to stretch it out again and ends up in a train wreck at the 33-yard line. That's where Southeast of Saline will start their second drive of the game.
And you saw right there, we talk about getting lateral and getting horizontal. And the difference, you can tell that if he gets past that last guy, there's a lot of daylight, but you want to get that ball vertical. You don't want to run sideways on a kick return. Get vertical, see what you can do. That'll be an adjustment that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully Phillipsburg doesn't kick off much more, but that's an adjustment you'll like to see.
From the 33, 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Give us to Gebhart. He'll stretch it to that side, hit from behind, and he will tumble down the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play for Grady Gebhart. Last week, Grady had 25 carries. That is the most that he has had in a single game this season. The closest that he's been to that, even the closest he's been to even 15 or 20, was 20 carries against Ellsworth in Week 8. Of course, 341 yards on 25 carries also. Second down here, second down and 5 after the pickup on first down of 5 yards. Here comes the motion man. It's Amarion Hollub. He'll take the carry. Block from Gebhart. Barian stops through a tackle. Here we go. Amarion Hollub is off to the races. One guy to beat. Inside the 20, inside the 10, and brought down at the 7-yard line. Amarion Hollub. One guy had a chance to get him, and thankfully for Phillipsburg, Caden Schwinn got on his horse, and he was able to catch Amarion Hollub on the angle. Amarion all the way down to the 8-yard line.
And, Devin, teams are going to always key on Lippold. Lippold's kind of that key block. You saw him come from that right side to the near side to us, and you can key on that. That's where the ball's going to go. However, his block is so well, and then all of a sudden you have Gebhart leading. Great job from Hollub reading the blocks.
From the 8, first down and goal, back in the Can-Equip red zone. Here's Grady Gebhart, a bulldozing run over a Phillipsburg Panther. Contact doesn't matter to Grady Gebhart as he scores from 8 yards away. His 29th rushing touchdown of the season.
Devin, his 29th rushing touch on the season, and how many of those is he meeting somebody at the goal line and making sure he ends up standing up at the goal line? Just a great job from Grady. Great job from the offensive line to create that hole, but then it was Grady in the last three yards.
Defenders are either behind him or under him, it seems.
Yes.
8-yard touchdown run there for Double G. 2-point conversion on the shelf. Patacic fakes it. Now he's going to roll out, wants to pass, has Malachi Hopkins at the back of the end zone. Malachi with a 2-point conversion. And Southeast of Saline scores again. Buckle in, folks. We're in for a good one. 7:13 left to go. Opening quarter. Southeast of Saline scores again. They go up 14-6 here on KINA.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back. Trojan Football here, brought to you by LilyPad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms. Want to thank Cole and Callie and Weston. Got the new addition there. Those three always supporting Southeast of Saline academics and athletics. And whenever I call, they pick up the phone. I want to thank them for helping us bring you Southeast of Saline here on KINA and also live stream video on salinapost.com. Southeast of Saline takes an 8-point lead. Malachi Hopkins with his hand in the air. He'll approach, and he will kick it off. It's a squib. The ball is loose. Southeast of Saline might have covered it up. It was underneath the leg of a Panther. That Panther did not get his hands on it. Can't see what number that is. Southeast of Saline, of course, claiming they have it, and the official does not agree. And Phillipsburg, once again, will come out and start their drive at their own 48-yard line. Worth a shot, right? It was very, very close.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that's one of the funky things when you're playing against Southeast Saline. You see multiple kickers, and you see multiple tendencies, multiple things they do. Why not? With an offense like Phillipsburg, I mean, if they get things going, they're going to go, but you rely on your defense. Let's try to make things a little bit funky, as Coach Gebhart did right there. Didn't work out. We'll see if that happens to work out later on.
48, they go right up the middle and into the linebacker level on a gain of 8 is Blake Burrish. He's a workhorse in this offense as we get to meet your Southeast of Saline defensive starters, brought to you by Salina Fence Company. Up front, Drew Weller, Tristan Swank, Brody Chambers, also Bryson Lippold. Your corners, Caden Berrigan, Malachi Hopkins. Your linebackers, Amarion Hollub, Kenyon Douglas, Killian Vaughn, Grady Gebhart. Your safety is Tiernan Patacic. Once again, those are your Salina Fence Company defensive starters for Southeast of Saline. 8 yards by Blake Burrish on that carry, his third of the night. Second down and short. They go inside to Burrish, and he is just clawing, scratching his way to the 41-yard line, and that will be a quick gain of about 4 yards, and it'll move the chains at the 41.
Yeah, I love this from Coach Ross Coombs. I mean, it's old school flex bone. Like, hey, it's second and short. We're going to put a wide receiver way out wide, but we're still going right up the middle. We're just going to try to extend the defense, try to get them as wide as they can, but we're still going to the same place. You don't see this very often, but Southeast going with a 3-man front against this flex bone. You see a lot of teams go 4-man front, but right now Southeast feels like they can do this with a 3-man front.
First down and 10 from the Southeast of Saline, 41. Ball on the ground. It is loose, and just at the last minute, Colin Springer, the quarterback, picks it up for Phillipsburg. He has that low crouch underneath center. When I make comparisons to Beloit and the way that they used to run the bone and when they were really, really rolling in Beloit, this Phillipsburg team reminds me a lot of that. Same formation, same tendencies. Very rarely do you see a wide receiver, and boy, that quarterback is way down underneath the center.
Yeah, it's all about hiding players. It's all about misdirection, but here's where things get interesting. When you're ahead of the chains, everything's working well. Now it's second and long, and let's see how Phillipsburg plays this.
Second down and 14 after that mishandled snap. Here comes a man in motion. Wide pitch out to the left. For space, there is some over there. Back to the original line of scrimmage and more. First down, Malachi Hopkins has to make the stop over there on Cade Schwinn, who gets the first down for Phillipsburg all the way down to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 17 by Cade Schwinn on that wide pitch out.
Yeah, that jet toss right there. You just saw the Phillipsburg blockers on the right spot. That's exactly. So you run this flex bone. You have athletic players at all possessions, at all positions and all levels, and you saw the offensive line right there just getting out and going. Great job on the outside blocking from the wide receivers from Phillipsburg.
First down and 10, Panthers. They are at the Southeast of Saline 27-yard line. Inside run, gets to the 25, gain of 2, 4:49 left to go here. Southeast of Saline up by 8 points.
And we'll see this a lot. We'll see a lot of quarterback run, a lot of fullback run. They can run quarterback and fullback. What it looks like, what you're watching at Salina Post, down the exact same hole, but there's so many different ways you can do it. You can do that 5, 6, 7 different ways. You're either pulling a guard, you're going midline, right up the center's backside, you're veering it. You can do so many things. It might look the same to us, but there's so many different things they're doing on the offensive line.
Wide receiver out to the right, second down and 8 from the 25. Inside handoff, Burrish again, and he is tackled. Minimal gain that time. Wrapping his arms around the waist of Burrish is Kenyon Douglas. And Burrish that time made it to the 23-yard line on a gain of 2.
And this is one of those games, and we'll talk about it a lot, especially in the second half, that it's going to be a game of depth. Like, who has more players? And because this offense wants to wear you down over and over, just running similar plays and just bury you. However, we've seen the rotations from the defensive line, the linebackers. You're going to see multiple players playing for Southeast tonight.
Third down and 6 from the 23-yard line in Southeast of Saline territory. Panthers tried the inside handoff. It's an option read. Both Panthers have the football, and they're driven back.
Brody Chambers just tackled 2 people. Like, honestly, it was the mesh. You talk about the mesh all the time. Brody Chambers literally took care of the running back, took care of the quarterback, had them both in his arms, just like a father on Christmas taking his kids to Santa Claus, and he had both of them in his arms. And as soon as that whistle blew, Brody Chambers' arms went up.
Brody gets 2 tackles on that play in my stat book. He also gets yelled at by his teammate Tristan Swank, who loved that play. It's a loss of 2 and drives Phillipsburg back to the 25-yard line. That was a read option. We used to call it a belly option, where the ball is in the middle, as you said, that mesh point. Brody just hugged them both. Fourth down for Phillipsburg. 1 back in the backfield. Now a end will leave on the left-hand side. Rolling out to pass. They're going to throw it to the end zone. It's up for grabs. It's batted down. Incomplete. Malachi Hopkins down there doing business for Southeast of Saline. Marion Hollab in the area, as well as safety Tiernan Potachik. It's a turnover on downs as Southeast of Saline's defense does their job.
Devin, it's what Malachi Hopkins did when he was elevated in the air. Like, that's a ball that he could have gone up with 2 hands. He understood it was 4th down. He understood the importance of knocking that ball down. He understood he was in the end zone. He saw the purple turf underneath his feet, knocks the football down. Huge turnover on downs that Southeast created right there.
Phillipsburg made it to the 23-yard line. Turnover on downs. Here's Southeast of Saline. Out on the edge, Malachi Hopkins. He makes it to the 30, and it's a gain of 5 for Southeast on the screen play to the outside.
And I love it. I mean, Hopkins just makes a huge play defensively. Gebhardt almost – he wants to test your endurance. He wants to see, you just made a big play there. Can you keep your head and do it here again as well? Big first down and 5 for Southeast.
They're going to give him 6 on that play. I will agree. Second down and 4. Douglas goes in motion. Here's Gebhardt. Has to bounce at the outside. Now he's following Kenyon Douglas. Grady slams on the brakes. Comes back to the left, and he's going to go to the 43-yard line. What a play there by Grady Gebhardt. It's a gain of 12.
And Devin, I just love the contrasting styles, right? Southeast is getting up to the line. They're looking immediately. They want to go offensively. This Phillipsburg team wants to just drain the clock. It's not going to happen against Mitch Gebhardt. He wants to go. First down and 10 at their own 43, I should say. Potashik looking over his line, and 5 wide receivers in front of him. Shotgun snap, fake mask high. Tiernan lets it rip down the left-hand side. Malachi Hopkins has it go between his hands at the 20-yard line. He had to come back to the middle, more towards the hash for that football, and it falls incomplete. But I love the play call. Without a doubt. First and 10, you've established what you're doing on this drive. You've seen a throw, you've seen a run. You got things going for you. Let's let Tiernan air it out. Great throw. He's going to throw that ball again to Hopkins at some point in this game.
That's one of those ones where you write it down on a sticky note and stick it on the inside of the bill of your hat because you're going to run it later, right? You're coming back to that. Second down and 10. Good. Straight up by that Phillipsburg defense. This is a gritty defense for the Panthers as well. And that time, Tiernan Potashik ran right into a Panther, and the hole was cagged off a 195-pound senior.
And, Devin, to be a successful Flexbone team, you have to have a great defense. And that's exactly what Phillipsburg is showing right now. I've seen them, they've given up some big plays. Right now they're really buckling down. You have to because your offense takes so much time off the clock.
80 seconds left to go. Third down and 10, southeast of Saline. Potashik looking right. Now he's going to roll it to the left. Throws on the run. It's a wobbler up for Kenyon Douglas. Kenyon Douglas catches it at the 20. Kenyon Douglas, his hands show up in the playoffs. And Kenyon Douglas is all the way down to the 18-yard line.
So here's the thing. It's 3rd and 10, which to a lot of football minds, you're thinking that's an obvious passing down, but not so much with Southeast. It's 4-down territory for them. They're going right now. They're not going to take any time.
39 yards to Kenyon Douglas. Potashik snaps it again. Gebhardt has to spin away from a tackler, and he's going to fight his way for a gain of 1.
And then going back to the point I was trying to make earlier, you don't know what Southeast is going to do. The little play action fake, a little dip of the shoulders from Potashik, you don't know what they're coming with. We've seen 3rd down and long, a lot of run plays to Gebhardt right there. They went big, and it's now 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 for Southeast.
Here's the give to Gebhardt, rolling left, and Grady will take on a couple of Panthers as he ends up inside the 15-yard line, and he will move it to the 14 on a gain of 3. Probably our last play of the first quarter. Let's see if Southeast wants to get another one off here. They do not have to. They don't want to. They can take the quarter break and talk about this 3rd down and 5. Everybody with hands on their hips. Well, now they might be lining up. Adam Teal's running out to the left-hand side, but it looks like Tiernan Potashik's not interested in it, and that will be the quarter break. Maybe. Snap right when. So a little tomfoolery there by Southeast of Saline. Maybe some mind games, but Southeast of Saline at the end of 1 will take a 14-6 lead into the second quarter. They have the football in the Case IH Red Zone. Brought to you by Can Equip when we come back. At the end of 1, Trojans lead it by 8 here on KINA.
Trojan fans, it takes fuel to win the day. When you're following our team to show that purple pride, fill your tank with gas and diesel as you're coming or going at our 24/7 pumps. And be sure to stop to get the energy you need with a hot cup of New England coffee or cocoa. Or grab a slice of your favorite Hunt Brothers pizza and snacks. Assyria Oil and Hardware is proud to support the Southeast of Saline community. Located at the corner of Center and Main in Assyria. We'll fill you up.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished.
1 yard, and number 30 with the Grady Gebhardt with the touchdown. Point after attempt fails. It's 20-6 SES.
Behind Killian Vaughn.
Yes, and, you know, it's one of those things you talk about when you see Eli Jennings go down. I mean, we talked about Jennings and losing Jacobson, you know, in back-to-back weeks. It might have been the same week, and you're Vaughn not only playing middle for the Southeast team, but just taking center duties. And you're right, he's not a projected offensive lineman on Saturdays, right? Like, this guy could be nasty if he wants to play on Saturdays at linebacker position. Not so much the offensive line, but he is nasty as heck on Friday nights. It's a great guy to be in that position.
And at that center spot, you can have Killian Vaughn, you can have Brody Chambers, you can have the center all season long last year, Drew Weller. Yeah. I mean, it is almost an embarrassment of riches when it comes to that center spot. When you start out with somebody like Eli Jennings, here's a loose ball, and it's going to be covered up just in time by Phillipsburg. Boy, that one nearly got away from the Panthers on that play.
Yeah, and you start wondering, like, we've kind of talked about Southeast's kick game, right? We've seen multiple kickers. They haven't been super impressive on their kickoff coverage team, right? Like, we've seen more plays kick return from the opposition than I think Coach Gebhardt would like to see. But you always wonder, is he just playing chess while the rest of us are thinking checkers? Maybe It was all just a ploy to wait till he got to the playoffs to kind of do stuff like this.
Phillipsburg will start out here at their own 39-yard line. One wide receiver split out wide to the right. That's the long side of the field. They'll sneak it into the belly of Hrenik. Hrenik out to the right-hand side, and he is off to the races. Hrenik all the way inside the 30 and then thrown out of bounds. Hopkins and Hollub chase that time and a bead to get him down, and Tanner Hrenik with a long run for Phillipsburg. He will take that football all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, give credit to Hrenik for having the speed to get to the outside and go, but it's that offensive line from Phillipsburg. We see whistles blown, we see clock being stopped. We'll see if
Play clock, operator. Please reset the game clock.
you see, like, a play like that only happens if you're sealing the edge, and they're doing a good job right now in Southeast. We've seen a lot of success on that play. We saw Hrenik score on that play earlier on. They're going right back to it. It's that little reverse. So what you need to do, you need to make sure you're sealing that edge. Turn that thing inside where all your defenders are. Easier said than done. However, making a big-time tackle like that's huge. I know it seems silly, like they're having success, they're doing whatever, but the more plays you make this team run, the more opportunities you give your defense a chance to turn the ball over.
First down and 10 at the 24-yard line for Phillipsburg. They want to run it left. There's nothing there. It is caved in, and that door slammed quickly by Tristan Swank, the sophomore, in there, taking out Phillipsburg's front line, and a loss for the Panthers of 2 yards.
And again, when you talk about an offense like this against a three-man front, that means you have to have a nose tackle and nose guard, whichever generation you grew up watching football in, that's willing to just collapse everything down. And right now, Swank is doing a good job on those inside runs.
Swank is over center. It is Chambers to the right, Weller to the left. Here's some motion, and now they'll try it on a quarterback keeper going up the middle. It's Colin Springer, and Springer gets back to the original line of scrimmage on a gain of 2, and it's 3rd down and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and long is a bad recipe for this Phillipsburg offense. However, we saw them convert on a 3rd and long earlier, 2nd and long, pardon me, but they have tools because they have athletes. They can do multiple different looks right now, but I would assume we'll see some quick motion, and they'll try to get you a little bit off balance, and we'll see what happens right here.
3rd and 10, one wide receiver split out wide to the left. They'll run it straight up the middle into the second level, cutting back to the 15, still going, now making it to the 11-yard line, and a first down on second effort that time for Phillipsburg. What a powerful run that was by Blake Burrish. He did not have the first down on an initial surge, but he ends up just keeping those legs moving, and he moves it to the 11 and gets 13 yards and a first down.
Well, and Devin, I think powerful is the right term, because it almost looked like it was a power run, which means your guard and your tackle are folding down. You didn't have that lead block come to the outside. Difficult for us to see it without the replay. However, that's what you're doing. You have eyes in the sky that are telling you where this fullback can run the football.
Line of scrimmage is the 12. They go back to Burrish, and this time he's piled up by Tristan Swank. Also in there, Killian Vaughn. Those two crashing in and holding that run for no gain.
And this offense is successful when they get past that first level. When you have offensive linemen get past the defensive linemen and then get hands on linebackers, that's when they're good. So there's sometimes you'll see Chambers, you'll see Swank, you'll see these defensive linemen. They're not necessarily looking to make the tackle. They're just trying to gather as many offensive linemen as they can to let their linebackers come in and clean everything else up.
20-6, Southeast of Saline leading Phillipsburg. 9.5 minutes left to go here, second quarter. Well, again, one running back in the backfield, a lot of misdirection, and Brody Chambers is going to eat this one up. Brody Chambers was there waiting. He watched both fake pitches, and then he took care of Tanner Hrenik on that play. He'll drive him back all the way to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 3.
Hey, this defense, it's roles and responsibilities. I watched them at practice on Tuesday, and they went through an entire Phillipsburg script without a football, meaning they took care of the quarterback, the fullback, and the pitch guy. They're tackling everybody without a football. You feel for the scout team in a situation like this, but that's what you have to do to prepare for an offense like this. I didn't know who the ball carrier was right there. Good thing Brody Chambers did.
Third down and 13 now, back at the 14-yard line. One wide receiver on each side. They sneak it in the middle to Burrish, and he will take it to the 10-yard line. Get about 4 on the play, and it's going to be 4th down and 9. 4th and 9 for the Panthers here inside of the red zone. Football sitting at the 10.
And again, when you're Coach Coombs and you have your Phillipsburg offense inside the red zone, it doesn't matter what down it is. You're going for it on 4th down. They understand that it's 4th and long right now, 4th and 8, 4th and 9. They're going to go for it. So that 3rd down play, of course, they wanted to get more yardage, but they knew that they had a 4th down play in their back pocket.
An opportunity for Southeast of Saline's defense. 4th down and 9 for the Phillipsburg Panthers from the 10-yard line. Here comes a man in motion. They're going to sneak it to him on an end around. It's Hrenik, and he will not get it. He will be short, it looks like. Overstretching it to the far side, and Southeast of Saline once again puts Phillipsburg off the field. It's a turnover on downs, and Southeast of Saline will take over. Hrenik that time got to the 6-yard line on a gain of 4.
And that's a play they had a lot of success with in 3rd and 4th down situations against Haven. Of course, Coach Gebhardt knows that. He sees that. They've already had successful plays that have gone for big plays. That's the play that got him in this position right there. It's, again, you're in that flex bonus. It's just a reverse. That's all it is. A little jet sweep motion comes over, handoff goes. But right there, Southeast was ready for it.
95 yards in front of Tiernan Potocik in this Trojan offense. Here's Grady Gebhardt looking for a crease, picks up a block. He's going to get out of the hole, out across the 10-yard line. He will bang his way up to the 12, and he will have a gain of 7 yards on 1st down. Helps.
It's a huge play. Anytime you're in the shadows of your goalpost, just to get away, get some breathing room. You want to make sure you obviously get this 1st down. After you get this 1st down, you can kind of, let things loose.
This drive started at the 5, 2nd down and 3. 2 wide receivers on each side. Potocik, high snap. He'll control it, hand it off to Gebhardt. That might have thrown the timing off on this play. Gebhardt still fights his way out to about the 14.5, and it's going to be 3rd and a football, maybe 3rd and very, very short.
Well, and that's huge right there. We saw a bad snap, threw off the timing. However, still got positive yards. It's positive yards on 2nd down, gives you a 3rd and 1. Interesting play call if Southeast does not get this right here.
3 wide receivers, an extra blocker behind that offensive line as Bryson Lippold stays in behind Chambers and Kuhn on that right-hand side. Actually, that is not Chambers and Kuhn for Southeast of Saline. That is actually Elijah Kerr in there at right guard, I believe. Here's the snap to Potocik, right back to Gebhardt. Tries to bounce it to the outside, looking for some space. He has space, and he's going to be past the 20 and ran out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Moved the chains. It's a 7-yard gain by Grady Gebhardt.
And Gebhardt knew exactly what he needed. He knew he only needed a yard, so he's gonna bait you in. He's gonna make that jump cut right. He's gonna act like he's coming through the line. All of a sudden, makes that jump cut. He knows where the 1st down marker is from the seam Grady Gebhardt.
Call it 8. They put the ball at the 3-yard line. Southeast of Saline wants to go quick here. 5 wide receivers. Gebhardt, the motion man. They fake it to him, and Tiernan Potocik is swarmed under by a flock of Panthers. What are they, a flock, a herd, a community? What are they?
You're asking the wrong guy. Don't look at my ACT scores. But you saw it right there. It's motion. You're trying to get the backers to follow. You're trying to get but that defensive line did a good job just following the reads. That GT, so that guard tackle pulling, they just couldn't get there. And it was just a great job from Phillipsburg on Tiernan Potocik.
I've always heard one of the most impossible tasks in life is trying to herd cats. Maybe that's what they are. It's a herd of Panthers.
There you go.
We'll come back with more on that. 2 wide receivers to the left. 2nd down and 11 for Southeast. Potocik throws the screen out that way. Holub is hit, still fighting, and he's going to lose 2 yards. Boy, Phillipsburg has done a really good job for the most part defending that outside screen. Southeast has gotten a couple, but not what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we've seen Southeast have more success throwing the ball down the middle of the field. It'll be interesting to see what happens right here, right? Again, 3rd and 13. You're kind of in that, we like to know that, Coach Gebhardt likes to kind of roll the dice. So what do? This play will dictate kind of what his mindset is. If you see something big, it means he's wanting to control the ball. He relies on his defense. If not, he's feeling a little bit sneaky, and he relies on 4th down. 5
wide receivers, 4 of them to the left, or to the right, excuse me. That's the long side of the field. Potocik, empty backfield, wants to pass. Lets it rip down the right-hand side. It's going to be almost intercepted, then almost caught. The first person with a chance at that was Caleb Leidig. He missed it. Then it deflected and went to Marion Holub. It caught him by surprise, and then the pass eventually fell to the turf.
Yeah, we've talked. That's just that 4 verts, except it was 5 this time. It was 3 receivers on the side. If you're watching Salina Post right now on our side, that ball came out a little bit funky from Tiernan's hand. Just never had a chance right there. Southeast is very fortunate to be in this position.
Punt formation for the first time for Southeast of Saline. Adam Teal stands back with his heels on his own 5-yard line. Blake Burrish back to return the punt. It's going to be a spiraling kick. Nice punt. That'll bounce at the 48 and then take a Southeast of Saline bounce. That is a beautiful kick from Adam Teal, and Tyson Keller will be the first one to down it at the 39-yard line. So I would say victory there for Southeast of Saline's defense, and then their offense getting that football out of there. If you're worried about field conditions, weather conditions, punt conditions, don't be at all. It is beautiful tonight. At kickoff, we were at 67 degrees. We're going to drop about 9 degrees as this game goes on. South breeze, 5 to 10 miles an hour. It was clear when we started. Few clouds will roll in as we go through this game, as those are the game conditions brought to you by the Kniper Agency of Farmers Insurance.
Nobody sees the green screen that you're working with. You could be a meteorologist. It's showing us where the fronts are coming from. It's football weather, but in a nice way.
From the 40, 1st down and 10 for Phillipsburg. Herenick goes in motion. They're running the option. Stretch it out to the right-hand side. Douglas can't get there. Herenick now down the right-hand sideline. Killian Vaughn will chase him down from behind. And Phillipsburg gets into Southeast of Saline territory. Again, Canyon Douglas comes streaking through, and he is just a hair away from making a big tackle for Southeast of Saline's defense. But Herenick gets into Southeast of Saline territory at the 37.
Yeah, Herenick, great job finding the holes. Just getting to the outside and going to the perimeter, but it's a blocking by the wide receivers from Phillipsburg. I mean, that's a play that we see Canyon Douglas make a lot, but we just saw the speed of Herenick too much for him. Good blocking in the perimeter that leads to a big game from Phillipsburg.
Tanner Herenick unofficially over 100 yards now. He and Gebhardt both over the century mark here in the first half. Inside run, welcome to Chambersville. Brody Chambers in there along with Tristan Swank. And you talk about a senior leader bringing a youngster along in his sidecar. Brody Chambers is grooming Tristan Swank before our very eyes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Swank, again, going back to what we talked about earlier, his job is so difficult. You don't see a 3-man front against this type of offense unless you have an absolute dude playing at the nose tackle position. And Swank is destroying things right there. Brody's the beneficiary out of that play.
3:40 left to go here before halftime. 2nd down and 11. Herenick goes in motion. Wide pitch out right-hand side. He has space again, and then Amarion Holub will jump on his back and take him down just as he gets inside the 35-yard line to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of about 4 for Phillipsburg on that play. Tanner Herenick, his 8th carry. And as I said, already over 100 yards. He has 105 unofficially. Phillipsburg with a 3rd down at the 33-yard line. Clock continues to roll. 3:09 left to go. Big 3rd down and 7 maybe even 6 here for Phillipsburg. They go back to Burrish up the middle. He stumbles ahead, and he's going to be close to the first down. They might spot him here at the first down as Blake Burrish hasn't carried the ball here like he did to start this game, but he gets 5 on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 1. So Burrish ahead. Down, but they're going to say a yard short. So the crowd gets on their feet once again here at Southeast of Saline. They start making noise. A 4th down and 1, and another opportunity for Southeast of Saline's defense to get off the field. 2.5 minutes left to go. 20-6. Trojans leading it. Play clock trickling down to 6. Panthers sprint out of their huddle, and they're going to call a timeout. 30-second timeout. We will step aside and take it as well. A big 4th down play for Phillipsburg. A 4th and 1 when we come back.
At AJ Honey Farms and wax melts to happy bee balm and beekeeping gear. They've got everything buzzing with local flavor. Whether you're soothing a sore throat, starting your own hive, or gifting something sweet to a loved one, AJ Honey Farms brings the bees and the kind of sweetness only they can bottle.
This is Alan from AJ Honey Farms right here at 901 North 9th Street in Salina, Kansas. We truly appreciate your continued support. Thank you for choosing local.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here, Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith, who's made his way down to the field on the Salina Ortho sidelines. He will get comments from Mitch Gebhardt as the Trojans go into the locker room right before halftime. They still have some work to do, though. Still 2:19 left to go. Here in the second quarter, a big 4th down and 1 for Phillipsburg. Tight formation, no wide receivers. Burrish, the lone setback. He will come through, take the handoff, and he will be short. Looked like he dropped a knee, Tyler. You're looking right down the line at that. What do you see?
Devin, I agree with you. I think he's short right there. And it's interesting. You see the tight, as you see Gebhardt coming off a little bit of an arm issue. You see that formation tight. I'm expecting them to go to the outside. We've seen them have more success on the outside than they have, up the middle. But it's going to be an interesting call, isn't it?
They're taking a long look at it down the line on the other side. It looked like right at the handoff, Burrish kind of stumbled and dropped a knee on the turf. Of course, I'm a long ways away, and I'm just making educated guesses, some of them non-educated, depending on who you ask. But it looks like they're going to bring the chains in, for that exact laser-type measurement. But you mentioned Grady Gebhardt coming across. He is carrying that right arm. He's getting attention now from the trainer from Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. They are really working on that right arm. Meanwhile, it's given Southeast of Saline time during this measurement to get Josh Watkins into the game. He has played extremely well as of late, especially last week in the game against Russell. Let's see what this chain says here. It'll tell the story of this. They're going to stretch it out, and they're going to say it is long. It's a link long, and Southeast of Saline will take over. About a half a football, right, Tyler?
Yeah, it is about a half a football, and I'm loving to see this interaction with Grady Gebhardt and the medical staff right now. Gebhardt wants to play. He doesn't care what he feels like. He wants in the game. This will be an interesting drive, right? Like, you're with your gun, all right? You're without one of the best players in the state of Kansas, it looks like, for the first couple snaps at least. But I think, Coach Gebhardt talks about his depth. He talks about the guys that he has. Let's see. This will be a big-time drive for Southeast. Plenty of time left on the clock.
Plug and play of Marion Hollub into the game right now. 2:13 left to go here in the second quarter. Southeast of Saline trying to get some points. Remember, it's Phillipsburg that is scheduled to get the football to start second half. Here is Potacik rolling out. Caden Berrigan makes the catch. He turns, gets it upfield, past the 35-yard line, and it's a gain of 9. First catch by Caden Berrigan since he was injured a couple of weeks ago. That time it came from Tiernan Potacik for 9 yards.
Yeah, and a big-time play. And again, you look at the clock, and I think a lot of people will start to panic. There's tons of time left. You're under 2 minutes, but you have 3 timeouts left. Every time you get a first down, the clock will stop until the chains are set. So you're nice and relaxed. You just come to the line of scrimmage and go.
Second down and 1. Potacik this time on a throwback. He's going to go to Bryson Lippold about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Here comes Lippold, and there will be a flag on the play. Bryson Lippold is still running. He's going to come down the right-hand sideline, but I think we have a bad block back here at about the 40-yard line. Nobody on Southeast of Saline sideline is getting too excited as they are going to have a flag to sort out here all the way back inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and it's sophomore Elijah Carey that's going to get called to the block in the back, it looks like, and he knew it. And it wasn't egregious. I mean, he just goes there. He was in a bad spot. Like, do I touch the guy or not? I don't know if that block necessarily did anything that Lippold did on the backside. However, a good call from this officiating staff. And he was right by Coach Douglas, who talked to him about it. Ooh.
It's a personal foul block in the back. You're welcome to sort that out.
Okay. The white hat corrected it. I've never seen a personal foul in that. Yeah. So now it's a 10-yard, not a 15-yard, just wrong verbiage there, which is perfectly fine. I mean, white hat corrected themselves, and here we go.
Second down, back to the 29-yard line. It's second down and 8 here for Southeast of Saline. They'll stack 2 wide receivers and Lippold out to the right-hand side. Potacek asks for the snap. He's rolling out behind Amarion Holla. Little out route to Malachi Hopkins. Hopkins will catch it and then dance out of bounds just inside of the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and we'll bring up third down and 2.
Yeah, third down and 2. We still don't see Gebhardt out there. So you're still, third and 2 now. So this play will dictate kind of how the rest of the half goes, right? If you don't get this, obviously you're going to kick it. You're going to get rid of the ball, rely on your defense. But you get this, then it's go, 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 and you're going to start using your timeouts, try to figure out a way to score to finish off this half.
Phillipsburg with 2 timeouts remaining. Southeast with all 3. Third down and 2. They need to pick up this first down first. Low snap on the ground. Hollop's going to pick it up off the hop, and Southeast of Saline is going to make hay here. Boy, you gave them a basket. And they just made lemonade. Amarion Hollop with the snap off the turf, took it, and then got a first down out to the 39-yard line. Play of the first half by Amarion Hollop.
Without a doubt, and bookmark this play right here, because that play could be massive. If that play is not handled well by Hollop right there, you're punting the ball away. All of a sudden you're relying on your defense. This game's going to be a lot different. Regardless of what happens, clock is still running.
1:06 left to play. First down now, Southeast of Saline. Football thrown 39-yard line. Potacek rolling out to the right. Wants to throw again. High ball to Berrigan, and KB is popped by that Phillipsburg defensive back. The ball incomplete, and it will stop the clock. Second down and 10.
Yeah, that ball came in nice. It's a tough spot. We've talked about Berrigan, being out with an injury right there. He's playing with less than 10 fingers. I can't count how many are taped up. And that ball was just on the money. It was hot, and Berrigan didn't catch it. That's not something you say a lot about Berrigan. Berrigan's usually very sure-handed, regardless of how many fingers he can get on the football.
That is only the second incomplete pass that Tiernan. He tried to dial up Malachi Hopkins in the first quarter. Second down and 10. They'll go to Amarion Hollop on the little delay handoff. He'll try the left-hand side. Nothing there. He got a yard. So Amarion Hollop, his third carry, gets a yard. He has 59 yards rushing. He had a long 54-yarder earlier in this half. And Phillipsburg will take a timeout with 50.4 seconds left before we hit the locker rooms. They have 1 timeout remaining. We'll keep it right here. Don't forget the Southeast of Saline Booster Club helps bring you live coverage to showcase exceptional student activities and build that purple power. It is always a great day to be a Trojan. Also, don't forget to check out Salina Post Facebook page and on X at @SPostSports. After the game, you can see video highlights from all around the area. Tonight, 2 games we are featuring, of course, Southeast of Saline and Phillipsburg, and also that big matchup in town at Salina Stadium between Salina South and Salina Central. It's getting ready to start here in about 12 minutes. Those highlights every week brought to you by Billings Group. Some games we were watching tonight, of course, South Central, the winner of that game will get the winner of Hayes and Great Bend in Class 5A. Also in the area, Lincoln is at El Saline. The winner of that game will get the winner of Sylvan Lucas and Little River. Also, Tesket is at Peabody Burns. The winner of that game in 6-man will get the winner of Cunningham and Otis Bison next week. Third down and 9 for Southeast of Saline from the 41-yard line. Potacek looking to the right-hand side. There's Berrigan. He makes the catch, has the first down, gets it out of bounds as he crosses the 50 to the 47-yard line of Phillipsburg's territory. What a play there by Caden Berrigan. It goes for 12 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Devin, without a doubt. And that's a senior vet, just being a veteran right there. Understanding he can get the football. He can try to make a move. If he cuts to the left and he cuts to the inside, all of a sudden that clock's going to continue to run after you get the chains. Caden wisely gets out of bounds, gives yourself time to reset.
I apologize. That last time out was Southeast, not Phillipsburg. Here's Berrigan again on the screen. Short play, gets a couple of yards, but gets out of bounds and stops the clock. I spy Grady Gebhardt over here. Helmet in the left hand. Right hand on his head, going through his hair. He's shaking that right arm all about. I think maybe they're going to keep him out of this game until halftime and then further evaluate. That last play to Berrigan goes for 3 yards. Caden's third catch of the night. Potacek, low snap, picks it up off his shoestrings. Big block here by Hollop in protection. Potacek now to Lippold at the 30, 25-20, 15-10. Bryson Lippold trying for the pylon. Did he make it? Yes, he did. Bryson Lippold from Tiernan Potacek 44 yards, and a Southeast of Saline touchdown.
Devin, I don't know if it's something you see. It's a footwork from Potocnik that sets that whole thing up. The natural left-handed quarterback rolls out to the left, 1, 2, 3, drops that left foot, comes back around, and it's Lippold. Lippold only scores big touchdowns, and what a huge touchdown right there from the senior Bryson Lippold.
2 catches for Bryson Lippold in this game, 2 touchdowns. He has 7 touchdowns on the season. Southeast of Saline now will go for 2. Here's some misdirection. It ends up with a Marion Hollip. Chambers out in front. Weller out in front. Hollip to the end zone, and he cannot get there. Just too many Panthers to run through, and Southeast of Saline is turned away once again. But the Trojans with another trip for 6 with 29 seconds left to go here before the halftime break. We'll step away, take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back to close out the first half. It's Trojan football on KINA.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. Other games tonight in 2A, as we mentioned, 8 teams left in each classification. Caney Valley plays Osage City tonight in the East. Also, Nemaha Central and Sabetha, right? Keep an eye on that one. Those two just hooked up, and for the league titles, Nemaha Central won that game 20-18 just a couple of weeks ago. They have the rematch tonight in Seneca, and then the winner of this game will get the winner of Hoisington and Garden Plain in the West. Here's a squib kick. Phillipsburg's going to handle this at the 25-yard line. Look out, Serenic. He's going to try to stretch it to the far side. Has some space, has some blocks, but then he is taken down at about the 47-yard line. Good resiliency showed that time by Southeast of Saline special teams. Casson Clover, Tyler Bramblett. Also in there, as we talk about so many times, and it amazes me every time I say it, Garrett Kuhn out there on the special teams tackle.
Devin, just a great job from Southeast to get that ball. Blake, to make that tackle. Blake Burrish, absolutely fantastic block on the outside. I thought that ball might go. Rennick might take that. Burrish just sets a great edge. What I also saw from Burrish helped the Southeast player up. Good to see sportsmanship in this game.
19.5 seconds left to go. They want to pass. Springer wants to pass it down the right-hand sideline. Has a receiver, and it's dropped. It's dropped. The receiver had a step on the Southeast of Saline defensive back going down that right-hand sideline, and it went through his gloves at about the 10-yard line, incomplete.
Oh, that's, first of all, that's devastating from Southeast. You know what they're doing right there, right? Like, you know they're throwing the ball deep. Hollip got caught with his eyes in the backfield. It's so easy to do. You see run. All of a sudden, you see receivers. You got to know the time on the clock. You got to know down and distance. You got to know situational football. Coach Gebhardt's quickly calling that timeout, letting those guys know nobody gets behind you in this situation.
I think that was a warning shot there for the Southeast of Saline coaching staff. They don't want to see that again. They want to make sure they take care of it. Don't want to give up any points here going into the locker room right before halftime. Gives us a chance to remind you the second quarter tonight brought to you by Assyria Oil and Hardware, always supporting Southeast of Saline. They can fill you up, whether it's your car with gasoline or diesel, or it's your belly. They have pizza, snacks, all kinds of beverages. It is the fine folks, the Blake family at Assyria Oil and Hardware, sponsoring the second quarter here tonight. It's been a good one for Southeast of Saline. The Trojans led 14-6 at the end of one. They have put both touchdowns up here. No point after touchdowns, but 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter. That is presented tonight by Assyria Oil and Hardware. Also, I want to remind you, Southeast of Saline football tonight brought to you by the Southeast of Saline Education Foundation, along with Salina Ortho, Mary Maids, along with Appliance Center, and Stardust Trophies and more in downtown Salina. 13.2 seconds remaining. The timeout for Southeast of Saline's defense gives them 1 remaining. Phillipsburg has 2 remaining from their own 47-yard line. Springer back to pass again. He's rolling out. He has to redirect himself. Lets it go over the middle of the field. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Hopkins, Potocnik, both in there, it looked like. Also in the area, dropping from their linebacker spots, were Douglas and Vaughn.
And Devin, here's that danger about this flex one, right? Like, it's difficult to surprise a team and spring something out. You saw multiple. I think I almost batted that ball down right there. Like, everybody knows it's coming. You just get back. You normally don't have a strong throwing quarterback running the flex bone, and Southeast is ready for it, especially after that timeout when we saw Holub kind of get his eyes caught in the backfield. You're exactly right. The warning shot has been sent to these defensive backs. Keep your eyes on the football.
5 seconds left to go. Maybe the last down. They fake the pitch out. Want to run it inside. Trying to stretch it out here to the near side. They do. Giving chase, though, is Tristan Swank, and he's going to make the tackle in pursuit. Coming down the line behind Cade Schwinn, and Swank is able to end that carry and end the half. It's a 6-yard carry by Cade Schwinn as he will take it to the buzzer here at halftime. Southeast of Saline, 26-6 here at the break as we enter the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. We'll have comments from Mitch Gebhardt here directly before he heads to the locker room at halftime. When we come back, we'll check stats from the first half. Not a lot of scores to talk about. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, so a lot of the games around the state not even happening yet as we had a 6 o'clock start. But we'll also go over some games that are going on of interest around the area coming up at halftime. Let's go down to the field. Here's Coach.
Coach, playoff football. Like, this has a different feel than we've had on previous Friday nights. Hrenek already over 100 yards for Phillipsburg. However, it's your defense that continues to bend but not break on 4th downs, on 3rd and longs inside the red zone. Can you just talk about what they've done tonight?
Well, we got to get that fly sweep stopped. I mean, that's the jet sweep. We got to get that stopped. That's their biggest play by a long way. The fullback runs hard, and so if they get short yardage or whatever, it's hard to get him stopped. We did on that 4th down there, but we got to keep playing tough, aggressive defense, and it is playoff football, so they are going to move the ball a little bit on us.
Was there ever a second thought in your mind to not try to go for it? You had Grady out in that last drive right there, just getting looked at. That just shows everything you said. You rely on every guy. You trust every guy. Just talk about how you trusted that offensive unit right there.
Our guys get reps all the time, and this is what we expect them to do. So, when they step in there and do that, and Coach Potacek had a heck of a call on that. He kept yelling for that, and we finally got her called. And that's a great play by Tiernan, good play by Bryson to catch that touchdown and get in the end zone. But our line had to do a good job also. So, good play call, and our kids executed it.
Coach, weighed in that first half with the explanation point. Good luck in the second half.
Coach Gebhardt on the field with Tyler Smith. When we come back, we'll go over stats from the first half. We'll also look at some games going on tonight around the state of Kansas. It's all coming up when we come back. It is the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. Southeast of Saline leads it here at the break, 26-6 here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and-soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Hurry! He's coming! He just got Sally! Get the keys so we can unlock the door!
Oh, settle down. These guys never run. And our getaway car is already running since I have a remote start from New Image Audio.
Oh! How did you do that so far away?
Easy. I just used my phone. It has nationwide range, and I knew exactly where the car was because it gave me the location.
Wow! When we get to safety, I'm calling New Image.
Be safe and comfortable this spooky season with a remote start from New Image Audio, 340 South Broadway in Salina, or call 785-309-1617.
Your mailbox is stuffed full and the phone keeps ringing. There are even strangers knocking at your door. Open enrollment time for Medicare and prescription drug plans is here, and it brings all kinds of unsolicited activity. Call a local firm with people you know at L&L Advisors. Plans can change pretty drastically year to year, and the agents at L&L Advisors are happy to answer your questions, give advice, and make you feel at ease. With 2 locations in Salina on Road Street and Central Mall, and on South Main and McPherson. Built on honesty and trust, call L&L Advisors today.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
4 walls and a roof can make a house, but a home, that's where life happens. First steps, backyard birthdays, morning coffee, sunsets on the porch. Home isn't something you buy, it's something you feel. And when it's right, you just know. For 22 years, Dan Goebel has helped people in Salina find that feeling. And now he's here to help you. Your home is out there. Dan Goebel knows the way. Call 785-819-1904 or visit Salina Homes to find your way home.
Hey Trojans fans, this is Angela Gebhardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Welcome back here to Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith, Brian Dennett providing that live stream video. You can access on SalinaPost.com or on YouTube at Real Salina Post. You can go check it out there. Not only video of this game, but later on, Tyler Henry, actually just starting Tyler Henry, and Brooks Garrettson will have the call of the Salina South, Salina Central game as well. It's a busy, busy time with all the area schools. Also, El Saline in action tonight against Lincoln. Tesket playing Peabody Burns. We'll keep you up to date on those scores as we go through. As we said in Class 2A, the other 3 games going on, Hoisington and Gart playing. We'll keep you up to date on that one. We'll have scores passed your way as the winner of this game. We'll get the winner of Hoisington and Garden Plain. Out of the teams left in the West bracket, Southeast of Saline, number 1. Hoisington is number 2. Both of them coming into tonight undefeated. In the East, it's Nemaha Central, the other undefeated team in Class 2A. They're taking on Sabetha. Sabetha has 1 loss, and that was a 2-point loss to Nemaha Central just a couple of weeks ago for their league title. 20-18 was that final score. Nemaha Central had a couple of turnovers in that game. I'm interested to see how that will work out tonight. Nemaha Central and Sabetha, the rematch. Also, Caney Valley and Osage City doing business tonight as well. The winner of that game will get the winner of Nemaha Central and Sabetha next week in the East. When we started this game, we had an honorary coin toss captain. His name was Matt Carr, and I want to go back and just kind of retrace Matt Carr's story and the bio that I got for him because it is impressive. Matt Carr is a proud Southeast of Saline High School alumnus, class of 1997. He is also a United States Naval Academy alumni, class of 2001, graduating with a bachelor's degree in aero and aerospace engineering. Matt is a former United States Marine Corps infantry and special operations raider officer, promoted to the rank of major after serving 12 years primarily in support of various operations, Iraqi freedom and enduring freedom combat deployments. After leaving active duty, Matt has continued to support U.S. national security as a defense contractor and the veteran community through various veteran healthcare and entrepreneurship nonprofits. Matt is the co-founder and CEO of the Diplomacy, Defense, and Development Consortium and the private equity firm supporting veteran-owned businesses. I want to salute Matt. We just had Veterans Day on Tuesday. Tyler had the birthday of the Marines. The Marine Corps is older than this country by a few months. Think about that. The United States 250th birthday celebration coming up in July of 2026. The Marine Corps turned 250 years old this week, and it is great. We know Southeast of Saline is packed full of great alumni that we are proud of. Matt is one of them here tonight. It was a pleasure having him on the field for the coin toss.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think we often just think, we're here, and then where do these alum go? It's awesome to get somebody back, and it's doing so many great things, not just for the community, but for the nation, and we're obviously not going to make this political, we can say whatever we want about it. However, we might not do everything right as a country, but I guarantee you it's still the best country in the world. And it's days like Veterans Day, and we should do this every day. All right, you should always make sure you thank a veteran. The things they do, the things they sacrifice. For us to be able to do stuff like this, to enjoy Friday flipping nights. I mean, it's the most fun I have every week, and we wouldn't be able to do this without guys guys and ladies, without everybody sacrificing everything for us.
Yeah, and that's one great thing about not having a listening area, right? Old-time radio, you had a listening area. If you got outside of that listening area, well, you were pretty much out of luck. Online broadcasting with streaming audio and also video. If you are in the military or you are helping this country overseas, wherever you may be, I hear all kinds of stories about people in place A or B, wherever that may be, and they're keeping up with Trojan football or Trojan basketball, and they're watching our broadcast, and they're so thankful, and they have so many kind words that I don't deserve. But just us being able, with technology the way it is now, to serve this product all over the world, that's why we do it, and we thank you for your service, and thank you for tuning in tonight. So far, it's been a good night for Southeast of Saline. 26-6 after they came out of the gates, and they fell down behind early in this game. Actually, they scored first, sorry. I'm not used to Southeast getting the ball to start these games, but they go down the field, and I think that was a statement, right? You and I were talking before the game, and we had a bunch of crazy thoughts and just things that we do before the game and throw out to each other. And we kind of thought that maybe there were 2 or 3 opportunities here in this game to get the other team off the field and hold them without points. Well, that Southeast of Saline defense has forced 3 turnover on downs of Phillipsburg's offense, and that's been big so far in building that lead.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, this is an offense that's used to scoring. I mean, you look at their scores, they score a lot of points, and they run this flex bone, so it takes a lot of time to do it. So when you start thinking, you start doing the math on how much time you have in a football game and how slow they are normally at scoring, they still rely on that big play. It's that jet sweep that we've talked about a lot, and Coach Gebhardt alluded to it at halftime. They go to that. That's their big-time play, and that's something that Coach Gebhardt's not happy with the way they're handling it right now. But what I want to go to is we often hear we hear Coach Gebhardt a lot, right? And it's easy to have coach talk and say the things like we get guys in, we trust everyone. That final drive of the first half shows that Coach Gebhardt doesn't just have coach talk. He 100% trusts every single person on this team. You see Grady Gebhardt, like we said, one of the top running backs, one of the top football players in the state of Kansas. He comes off, he's out for that drive. You can just tell he's out for the rest of the drive. It doesn't change the way Coach Gebhardt coaches the game. If any other head coach worth their weight in salt, it's going to just say, hey, we're going to go to the second half. We've got the lead. We're going to go to halftime. We're going to talk things out. Not Coach Gebhardt. He truly believes in every single person on that sideline, and he saw a great drive and a huge touchdown to give them, not only that touchdown, but whenever you're kicking that ball off, it could always be a swing, and right there, that's huge that Southeast got that touchdown in the first half.
And his trust isn't only in the players. He talked about Chance Potocik making that call to Lippold that ended up being a touchdown.
Yeah, without a doubt. We kind of joked about it. You're hearing stuff all the time from your coaches, and you go in with your set, and you know what you're going to do. But this coaching staff trusts each other so much. Like I said, on Tuesday, I came down, I watched practice, and it made me think, small school, big school, this coaching staff has 5 guys, and it doesn't matter, what you do practice-wise. They're still watching the same amount of film that a staff of 10, 12, 15 guys is at the 5A and 6A level. The way that they're able to break everything down, they know everything, they trust each other. Coach Gebhardt can hear something from anybody on his coaching staff, and he's going to rely on that because they put in the time, they've done everything. It's an absolute machine that they've got rolling, and it's not just the players. Like you said, it's the coaching staff as well. They all have trust in each other, and it's Coach Mitch Gebhardt, it's ultimately calling the shots. But when you trust every single person on that sideline, it makes it a lot easier to call those shots.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll dig in further to the stats and the scoring plays of this first half. It's the Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. Trojans lead it here at the break, 26-6 over Phillipsburg on KINA.
Can-Equip's annual twine and net wrap sales event is on now. Save with preseason pricing on genuine C&H twine for round balers and square balers, small or large. Choose from a variety of proven net wrap like Armor Net, Legacy, Bale Keeper, American Net, and Varsity Net. Maximum length and maximum strength for the performance you expect. See your parts professional for select rebates and ordering at Can-Equip in Solomon.
This is Jeff with Vanderbilt in Salina. If you need to stay warm, we have Field Shear heated gear. We have base layers, zip-up sweatshirts, light jackets, coats, and socks. Ladies, we also have vests and jackets for you. These items all come with a lithium rechargeable battery. They also have an on-off switch with low, medium, and high. Keep warm with Field Shear at Vanderbilt in Salina.
The Kansas City Chiefs earn championship rings, bold, brilliant, and one of a kind. Now you can have a ring that's just as unforgettable. At Vernon Jewelers in Salina, we create custom rings that tell your story. From stunning engagement rings to personalized designs, our craftsmanship makes every piece a winner. Celebrate life's biggest moments with a ring that's truly yours. Stop by Vernon Jewelers, downtown Salina since 1884. We're not old, we're just really good at what we do.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
Opening our doors in 1999, Salina Surgical Hospital specializes in excellence in surgical services and digestive health care. It is the depth of experience and the abilities of the physicians and nurses at Salina Surgical Hospital that make it the ideal place for high-tech and high-touch to unite. Patients tell us, I knew I was in good hands with the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Salina Surgical Hospital. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local community-involved physicians.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. Glad you could join us on KINA or live stream video on salinapost.com. Let's go over stats for you from the first half, brought to you by the Bank of Teskett. Tiernan Potacik, boy, this is really the first time that he's been called on to be a playoff quarterback and kind of control the game and make some passes. And the junior's responding well. 11 of 14 passing the football, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Both of those touchdowns went to Bryson Lippold. 2 catches, 65 yards. Both of them found the end zone. He's also at Caden Berrigan 3 times for 24 yards, Kenyon Douglas 3 times for 42 yards, and 2 times to Malachi Hopkins for 12 yards. Grady Gebhardt, 12 carries, 108 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns for him. Also 3 carries, 59 yards for Marion Holla. For Phillipsburg, it's been all on the ground. It's been led by Blake Burrish. 11 carries, 50 yards. Tanner Hrenik, 8 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown. 2 carries for Cade Schwein, 23 yards, and also a couple of runs for a loss that totaled a loss of 6 yards. Your final numbers here at the half. Rushing, Southeast of Saline with 166, Phillipsburg with 174. Passing, Southeast of Saline with 141, Phillipsburg with 0. Total offense, Southeast of Saline with 307, Phillipsburg with 174. And again, 4 touchdowns in the first half for Southeast of Saline, 2 in each quarter. Bryson Lippold had a couple. Also, Grady Gebhardt had a couple. Of course, Potacik was on the throwing end of those Lippold touchdowns. Tanner Hrenik had the touchdown for Phillipsburg back with 8:23 left to go in the first quarter, 26-6, our score here at the break. Chance to remind you that this presentation is brought to you in part by Kansas Bankers Technologies and Technical Consulting, your partners in secure banking technology and seamless IT solutions. Also want to thank Long MacArthur Ford for jumping on board and making sure everybody gets to the games and back home safely. Just announced last week in a short-term promotion, 0% on all F-150s, and that is for a limited time. Right now, that is going to expire next week. It looks like 11/19, November 19th, the last day for that. So you are running out of time. Get to Long MacArthur Ford. Why not go tomorrow? 0% on all brand new F-150s from Roush and also Long MacArthur Performance. If you've seen some of the Long MacArthur Performance trucks that they customize in-house, holy cow, they're nice. It only excludes Raptors. 0% on all brand new F-150s at Long MacArthur Ford. They have over 100 trucks in stock. Tyler, chance to think about this one for a little bit. Your new image audio, keys to success for Southeast of Saline here in the second half.
Well, now it's just protect the football and play defense. I don't know if this Phillipsburg offense will get enough possessions unless you give them easy possessions. And so it's all about the run game, which is kind of in question. We don't know Gebhardt's situation right now, but again, like Coach Mitch Gebhardt said, it's plug and play. It doesn't matter who it is. They're going to rely. It's now in the trenches, and it's always the success of Southeast Saline. It might look like it's coming from receivers or quarterbacks, doesn't matter, but it's the nasties up front and the big nasties. If they continue to win every snap, it's going to be a good time for Southeast this evening.
We'll have a score update for you after this kickoff to start the second half for Adam Teal. He is kicking off. Back deep, Cade Schwinn back there along with Tanner Herenick. He's in the area as well. Teal will put it end over end. It will go to Schwinn at the 5-yard line. He's coming out, angling left, looking towards the sideline, runs into Tyler Bramblett, gets away, but then popped out of bounds at about the 35. Score update for you. Hoisington has jumped out in front against Gart and Plain midway through the first quarter. Hoisington leads 6-0. Also, how about this one in Class 3A? Rock Creek and Cheney going at it tonight. Rock Creek leading that game 14-7. Again, most of these games will start at 7 o'clock, so we'll be sure to get those score updates to you as we go through this second half here. Southeast of Saline leading. Phillipsburg starts out with the football at their own 39-yard line. 20-point lead for Southeast of Saline. Here's Herenick, stretch play, right-hand side. That's what Mitch Gebhardt said they needed to stop. And Kenyon Douglas had a chance again in the backfield. Tried to tackle high. That doesn't work very often, and Herenick got by him and was able to get a 4-yard gain.
And Devin, this is a huge drive for Phillipsburg. They have to score right here to keep just within striking distance of Southeast. And it's funny, it's the exact same play that Coach Gebhardt's talked about that we've seen Phillipsburg have so much success on. They knew right away how important this drive was. They're going to try to start it off with a bang. 4-yard gain still keeps them ahead of the chains. However, you like what you saw better from Southeast.
They'll call it 3, second down and 7. Tight formation, no wide receivers. They try to sneak it into the fullback. Now they'll pull it out, pass it to Schwinn over to the left-hand side on the pitch. He'll get it to the line of scrimmage, and then no more.
Yeah, it looked like in the outside right there. Could have been a hold called on Phillipsburg. They're just so good at their hands. I mean, a lot of times if you make that block inside of the frame, inside of the numbers, meaning you grab the inside of the shoulder pad, you're not going to be called for a hold, and I think that's exactly what Phillipsburg did. Everything was, by law, not a hold, but just a great block on the outside. However, you just saw Southeast come and swarm and make the tackle for a minimal gain.
3rd down and 7 for Phillipsburg. From their own 42-yard line. 42.5. Inside, Bursch with the handoff. He is going to be stopped in a 4th down coming up for Phillipsburg. Amarion Hollup in there making the tackle. And Killian Vaughn might have swiped his ankles out from underneath him as he went speeding by, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 2. We do not see Grady Gebhardt out on defense right now as Amarion Hollup has moved to the inside. Also out there helping out is Josh Watkins. 4th down and 2 here for Phillipsburg. Line of scrimmage at their own 47-yard line. Tight formation. Here comes a man in motion. It's Herenick. Wide pitch. Herenick has it, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. Bryson Lippold, a turnover on downs, and Bryson Lippold comes in and takes the football away. It's a turnover on downs. The 4th time tonight Southeast of Saline's defense has gotten off the field on a TOD.
Huge play from Lippold. Just runs through every potential blocker right there. We've seen Phillipsburg have so much success on the perimeter running, whether it's the jet sweep or that jet toss right there. The jet toss, it all was working out well until nobody accounted for number 48 in purple. Lippold just shoots through everybody, makes a tackle at the legs. That's exactly what you need for Southeast of Saline.
That's Salina fence. Trojan defense rising to the occasion. They will take over now in Peaburg territory at the 47-yard line. Here's the handoff. It is Gebhardt. Grady zigzagging his way inside the 35-yard line, and he will take it to the 31, and I think a collective deep breath by everyone wearing purple, seeing number 30 out there carrying the football.
Yeah, I don't know how you'll take that young man out of the game. I mean, he's going to pass it, and I saw a lot of mobility tests, Salina ortho on the sideline. he's going to say whatever he can. That kid's not coming off the football field at any, under his own discord. Right there, you saw just a great run on first down.
To the 32, it's a gain of 15. First down and 10. Fake to Gebhardt. Potacik will keep it, and he is unable to get away. That's a fantastic play by the Phillipsburg defense. Cole Shelton, one of the senior linebackers, coming in and making the play on Tiernan Potacik, and a loss of about a football length.
Yeah, Shelton didn't make that tackle right there. Tiernan's taking that all the way to the end zone. Everything was set up well, but you just saw Shelton just sheds the blocker right there, makes a good tackle on Potacik for the tackle for loss.
Back to the 33 after a loss of, as I said, about a football. Wasn't really a full yard there for Southeast of Saline. Second down. Gebhardt directly behind Potacik. Nobody wide here for Southeast of Saline. Fake pitch out. Tiernan rolling out to the right, surveying his options downfield. He's going to dance around. Now he's going to stop, put the football in the air, and he's going to throw it away. Good play there by Tiernan Potacik. Didn't like anything that he saw. He had a bunch of different levels down the field. Didn't like any of them, and he's going to live to fight another day on third down after the incomplete pass.
Yeah, just a good job from Phillipsburg, not biting on that play-action toss. They stuck with their responsibilities. You saw that zone just continue to drop back. And, again, you don't want to force the football right here. No easy turnovers. Just make sure you're playing sound football. You'll live third and long is much better than a turnover trying to force the football somewhere.
And the play or the strategy in your head, 2 plays to get 11 yards, right? I mean, that's what you're looking at here. Potacik pitch out, Gebhardt, right-hand side. He's going to plant that foot, cut back in at the 25, still on his feet, trying to bounce it out. He's going to be close to a first down. Grady Gebhardt might have eliminated a fourth down attempt here as he stretched the play all the way to the right-hand side at about the 22-yard line. Let's see where they put that football down. They might spot him short, and it's going to be just outside of the 22, and it's going to be third and very short. Weller will come off into the game. For Southeast of Saline will be another Weller. Ryan Weller drew out, Ryan in. Fourth and short. Gebhardt directly behind Potacik. Now they're going to have a check with me, and they look over to the Southeast of Saline sideline. Play clock down to 5. Potacik waiting on the snap. He'll give it to Gebhardt. Left-hand side, first down and more. Another bulldozing run. Gebhardt eliminated one of the linebackers that came up to hit him. That was Phillipsburg's fullback. And Grady Gebhardt all the way down to the 6-yard line. What a carry by Grady Gebhardt. 16 yards on that play.
Devin, how blessed are we to see this guy every single Friday night? That's twice those plays that shouldn't go that far. He's delivering blows and just getting yards afterwards.
First and goal from the 7. Potacik turns. Gebhardt has it again. He's chopped at the ankles and falls down at the 5. It'll be a gain of 2.5 for Southeast of Saline on first down.
Devin, going back to that that fourth down, that toss that we saw to the third down. Gosh, the brain's just running. The third down. Loved it, right? We saw the offensive formation compact. You saw a toss. It was basically inside zone, but with a toss play, and Gebhardt just gets what he can get.
Kenyon Douglas by himself to the left-hand side. Hand off to Gebhardt. He's going to angle left, and he is untouched in the end zone again. Grady Gebhardt has his third rushing touchdown of the night. This one comes from 5 yards away.
Yeah, give Gebhardt credit for the touchdown, but I'll tell you what, it's the block made right there by James Friesen. And I'll tell you what Friesen's been doing all weekend. He's been playing Danny Zuko in the school musical. The grease is going on. This guy, I don't know what his schedule's like this week. I can't imagine what it is, but he still had enough energy to get the syrup out, pancake in the end zone. It leads Grady just untouched into the end zone.
2-point conversions have been a tough rascal for Southeast tonight. They're going to give it to Gebhardt, and he is going to be tackled. And no gain on the play. So 2-point conversion, once again, not executed. But Southeast of Saline gets a stop on defense. They go down, get 6 on offense. 7:03 left to go here, third quarter. Trojans lead it 32-6. This third quarter brought to you by Lily Pad, Septic Service, and Portable Restrooms.
Visit Suburban Appliance Center to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash. This is the 2-in-1 removable agitator. This Whirlpool washer has flexible capacity. You can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items of smaller loads. This opens up space in the wash tub and allows you to wash bulky items like comforters with no problems. Shop at Suburban Appliance Center and get twice the washer you have at home. Suburban Appliance Center. Quality service with every purchase. Located on South 9th next to Genesis Health Clubs.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Welcome back into the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith. It's like Drew Weller getting the attention of the Salina Regional orthopedic and sports medicine trainer. They're looking at his left leg as Southeast of Saline has tacked on another touchdown, 32-6, with 7:03 left to go here in the third period. So what you want to start a second half, right? When you don't get the football to start, you get the other team off the field, then you go score.
Yeah, anytime you get a big turnover on downs, then you answer back immediately with a touchdown. Just shows we felt like Southeast has been in the driver's seat all night, but that just kind of solidifies that thought.
Malachi Hopkins will be the kicker here. Sidewinding kick that will be taken at the 15-yard line by Phillipsburg. Here's the return. Caleb Leidig has it, and he has to contend with some Trojans at the 35-yard line. The pile will fall ahead to the 38, and that is where Phillipsburg will start out. That last drive for Southeast of Saline was a short field after the work done by their defense. 47-yard touchdown drive. Again, Grady Gebhardt was hit with his third rushing touchdown of the night. That scoring drive recap brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook, Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. First down and 10, Phillipsburg. They will start out here at their own 38-yard line. Second drive of the second half. Here's the option play out to the left. Quarterback keeper by Springer, and Springer will fall ahead for about 7 yards. Nice keeper there. We haven't seen him keep the ball very often. That's only his third carry of the night, but that one goes for 7 yards.
Devin, it's just this defense. I mean, now they understand, you're not going to let anything happen on the perimeter. You can't let quick touchdown strikes happen. If Phillipsburg wants to drive the ball down the field and just continue to go up the middle inside the tackles and just continue to 3 and 4, 5, 6 yards you're fine with that, because there's just not enough possessions left in this game for them to do that. As long as you take care of the outside, you're going to be fine.
Nose of the football sitting at the 45-yard line. Phillipsburg, second down and 3. Again, quarterback keeper. This time they're going to lose yardage as they try to run right into the teeth of Brody Chambers and Tristan Swank. Also in there, getting up off the pile, Elijah Kerr.
And that's what this offense is difficult with, right? It's reading. You're reading X's and O's. And right there, the read could have been correct, reading X's and O's, but not when you're reading Swank and Chambers and Lippold coming in and Killian Vaughn. You have to read players when you're a quarterback, not just X's and O's. And right there, the read might have been correct, however, not against this defensive front.
That play for Phillipsburg was an X's and uh-oh. Third down after the loss of 2 yards back to the 42-yard line. Third down and 6. Wide pitch out Herenick. He's trying to get that crease. Got through a couple of Trojans. He will get the first down. That's the dangerous thing. When Tanner Herenick has that football, you have limited opportunity to get him down in the backfield. If you do not do it, he is going to get a chunk of yardage. That time he takes it across the 50 to the Southeast of Saline, 49-yard line. It's a gain of 9.
Yeah, when he gets his shoulders squared and he starts going downhill, he's extremely dangerous. But it's just about, again, we can't express the importance of just a 12-yard gain. You're disappointed defensively, but it's okay because you're still on the field. You're still making them run the clock and run more plays.
Tyler, he averaged coming into this game 18.5 yards a carry. We can see why. Here's the slip into the belly of Schwinn that time, and he is going to be just strung out and just team gang tackled that time for no gain on the play. Cade Schwinn, no gain. Back-to-back carries now without positive yardage for Phillipsburg's to Cade Schwinn.
Well, and that's that jet sweep that we've seen Phillipsburg have a lot of success on. And sometimes maybe to beat the outside, you slip through the inside. It was Killian Vaughn that just slipped through the inside. The guard pulls. All of a sudden, he just slides through right there and tackles the Phillipsburg ball carrier. And Schwinn had nowhere else to go. Again, you don't always have to come from the outside. That's just a headsy play from Vaughn. You wonder how much of that was talked about at halftime.
Second down and 10 from the 49. Schwinn in motion. Back to pass. Springer started out left. Now he's going to roll back to the right. Throws it downfield, and a diving Tiernan Potacek went after that football from his safety spot. It was Caden Berrigan in coverage for Southeast of Saline. He still isn't fully up on his feet yet. Now he is, and he's going to come off limping a little bit. They may have to get a substitute for KB in there as that pass is incomplete. Phillipsburg now 0 for 4 passing the football in this game.
And in only 4 pass plays. It's kind of like when you're talking to a young child. You can tell them no so many times. You tell this defensive backfield, you cannot watch the football. I misspoke earlier at the end of the first half, and I said watch the football. You got to watch your reads and your keys. And right there, Berrigan did a good job. He stayed there. It seems easy when you're watching from afar, but when you're inside the game, it's difficult.
Back to pass. Springer lets it rip down the right-hand side. It's up for grabs, and this is going to be incomplete. Again, it's Berrigan on coverage. And the receiver that time went up for that football. It's Owen Miller. He's 6'3". Had a flashback to last week with Russell's big receivers, with big Owen Miller there trying to go up and get that football, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought as well. You know, we saw Russell have so much success with their pass game, throwing to their big-time receivers right there. They just weren't able to come down with the football. But just like last week, regardless if it's a completed pass or an incomplete pass, you see the defensive backs in the correct spot right there. Even if that ball is caught, Berrigan's there to make the tackle.
4th down and 10. See if Southeast can get off the field once again. Back to pass is Springer. He's going to step up in the pocket, has some space. Now he's going to zigzag out to the left-hand side. He will have the first down by about a yard. As he needed 10, he got 11, and he's southeast of Saline's 37-yard line. That's a nice scramble play by quarterback Colin Springer.
Yeah, Springer right there just saw the defensive backs from Southeast retreat as they should have done right there. Finds a little crease, and that's one of the things when you have, the trenches that we talk about so much, the defensive line, the linebackers that come, they're all there against this type of offense. You're coming all the time. Springer did a good job sidestepping a few Southeast Saline tacklers and got himself a first down.
Having a deja vu moment again. I'll go through that with you after this 1st down and 10. From the 38. Phillipsburg in southeast of Saline territory. Springer back to pass. He's hit. Ball pops up. It's free. It's going to be incomplete. And they're wanting a pass interference call, but you can't on a pass that's deflected. That comes out, and that's an incomplete ball. So the deja vu I'm having goes back to last week with Russell. Phillipsburg's getting the yards, but boy, it's taken a long time, and this clock just keeps moving.
And every time you drop back to pass, you have people in the right spots because you don't pass the ball often. And this isn't a prolific passing team. That's what happens with the flex bone. So right now you're just sitting back. You're letting your – and when you can dominate like you can with your front three, you let them do whatever. You can all of a sudden drop linebackers back. You can also have them come and fill holes. You're just responsibility sound right now, Southeast.
2nd down and 10 after that incomplete pass and a big tackle inside. Holy cow. You want to shield the children's eyes from that one. Tristan Swank, along with, thank goodness, Drew Weller, who's back into the game. That was a brick wall with Swank and Weller.
And textbook from Weller, just wraps up down low, keeps that head up even though he's wrapped up down low, and just drives the feet back. Another 3rd and long for Phillipsburg.
Still at the 38, 3rd down and 10. Phillipsburg, long time in their huddle, clock down to 2:46. Southeast of Saline, leading 32-6. 3rd down and 10. Schwinn in motion. Springer wants to pass. Drops back down the middle of the field. Left hash. Intercepted. Tiernan Potacek goes up and he takes it away for the 2nd time this season. Tiernan Potacek with an interception on the season now. Southeast of Saline's defense has a baker's dozen, 13 picks.
And Potacek that's just straight from scout film. He understands exactly what the receiver's going to be. He sees everything going in front. His responsibility is in the middle of the field, inside of that zone, steps up, makes a great play. That's a play made from film, but that's an athletic play on the ball from Potacek right there, and now he gets the opportunity to really just nail this thing home.
Potacek went down at the 15-yard line. 2:32 left to go. Here's the give. Amarion Hollop, look out. He's coming through the hole to 25. Trying to step through a Panther tackler. He makes it out to the 27-yard line. A gain of 12 from Amarion Hollop.
Yeah, and you saw Hollop right there. He had a huge hole to run through, and he did a great job. First contact is a great tackle from Phillipsburg to hold Hollop down because he had a full head of steam right there. You'll take that 12 yards. And now, again, you're going to rush to the ball if you're Southeast because that's what you do. Then you're going to let the eyes upstairs. You're going to see how the defense is set up, and you're going to slow things down before you snap the ball. So this is a rare time where you're going to see Southeast just kind of bleed that clock a little bit.
Gebhardt now will step back in. He will play behind Potacek at a running back. Hollabout slot left as a receiver. He will go in motion. They will fake it to Amarion. Tiernan Potacek with a block out in front, and he's going to bring it out to the 40-yard line. Give a tip of the hat that time to Garrett Kuhn, who sealed the way for Tiernan Potacek.
Yeah, and we talked about that. That's that GT right there, but you saw all offensive linemen got exactly what he needed to get. Phillipsburg couldn't slide through. There was so much attention on that play action right there. Potacek does a good job getting behind his big nasties, getting the first down.
How much confidence do you think QB2 is building right now?
And Devin, he's another guy that's been in Greece all week. I mean, again, I don't understand the sleep schedule, how they're doing this, but the amount of things the Southeast team does, it's him, it's Teal, it's Hopkins, it's Friesen. There's other guys I haven't talked about that are involved in school production and still playing playoff football at a high level.
Southeast kind of tapping the brake here on tempo. They took the play clock down to 3. Here's Gebhardt. He's got a lot of shake and bake in his step still. I know his feet are okay. That shoulder might be ailing him a little bit. And he brings it out to the 46-yard line on a gain of 6. Grady Gebhardt unofficially 18 carries, 162 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight.
And Devin, when you play with the pace and tempo the Southeast does, it's always easier to tap on the brakes. It's easier to do that than it is to speed up. And with the Southeast team, we saw, their season last year, they had to, put on the accelerator and make some things happen. Right now, they're able to get to the line of scrimmage and then tap on the brakes a little bit and slow things down.
They'll run another play here at the end of the third quarter. Potacik wants to throw. Caden Berrigan has a first down, trying to slip through the screen. He's going to be brought down to 45. KB's out there by himself on the long side of the field all day long, one-on-one with the DB, and he's able to get the first down there.
And that's what you do, and that's something you can continue to do as you compact the box, as you have to do for Phillipsburg, because of the run game that we've seen Southeast have success with. All of a sudden, you see a defensive back 8 to 10 yards off the football. That's an easy check with me. You see it, you're going to throw a strike, and you do your thing.
Difference in the game clock and play clock of about 1.5 seconds, and it looks like Southeast of Saline is going to go ahead and cruise on in to the fourth quarter. A productive third quarter for Southeast of Saline. Trojan football moving to the fourth, leading 32-6. This game brought to you by Lily Pad Septic Service on KINA.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
For 40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plant your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action getting ready to head your way here on KINA. Also, Salina Post Sports Video brought to you by Lily Pad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms. Couple of updates for you. Salina Central leading Salina South 14-10. Also, Hoisington leading Garden Plain 14-0. Here's the snap. Tiernan Potacik, give to Grady Gebhardt. I don't know if Southeast was set there. There's going to be a flag in the middle of the field, and I don't know if Southeast was totally set all the way around here with all 11 guys. What'd you see there?
Yeah, it looked like Gebhardt kind of moved early, and also there might have been, early moving up, in that the offensive line. Usually something you see whistled dead immediately. We'll see what the call is.
Offense, illegal participation. We have 12 in the formation. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat down.
So an extra guy out there on the field, says the officials, and they are going to make that adjustment. It'll cost them. 15 yards?
I saw this player go on and then another one come off. So we'll have to look back at film. If you're watching the Salina Post, you can definitely rewind that and watch it. You got better eyes than we do right now.
Back to the 40. Phillipsburg showing blitz here. Potacik, little play action. We'll throw it out to Amarion Hollop. He has it past the line of scrimmage, and then he is wrecked out of bounds as he crosses the 45. They're going to say right around the 46-yard line, gain of 6 on the play.
When we talk about the success of Southeast running the ball, just handing the ball off and running power where you fold down your offensive tackle and you have your guard sweep around, it's no different running that bubble right there. You're just folding down that outside receiver. You're letting your ball carrier take it to the outside. That's a big pickup right there to get back to the chains.
Hollop in motion, takes the handoff. He has a crease. Look out. 45-40. A Panther chasing. Hollop still on his feet, and he couldn't keep it in bounds as he runs out of bounds just about the 20-yard line. They're going to say he stepped it out of bounds at the 21, and that will be a big gain for Southeast of Saline, courtesy of Amarion Holub.
And anytime you can negate a penalty like that and just wipe it off clean, you can just take a deep sigh. Someone's breathing, much easier right now because someone knows who the 12th man was, and they're hating watching film tomorrow. Thank goodness that first down was converted by Southeast.
At the 21, 33 yards for Amarion Holub. That's not his longest carry tonight. How about that? They fake it to Amarion this time. Potacik to the right-hand side. Caden Berrigan out on the edge blocking, and Tiernan Potacik will take this into the Canaquip red zone. Case IH red zone brought to you by Canaquip in Solomon. All the way down to the 15-yard line, a gain of 6 by Tiernan Potacik.
Yeah, now inside the red zone, the clock is your friend. You're gonna get up with the football. You're gonna let the eyes upstairs kind of dictate what the play call is. You're gonna read the Phillipsburg defense, and kind of let that dictate what you do. 2nd and 4 right here, again, inside the red zone, and let that clock tick.
Clock is down to 10:53 left to go in this one. Pistol formation. Gebhardt takes the handoff after standing directly behind Potacik. Slams on the brakes as he's negotiating traffic. Goes out of bounds at about the 12. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up after the 3-yard gain by Grady Gebhardt. How about Amarion Holub tonight raising his hand and saying, hey, I play tailback too. Remember me? Over 100 yards rushing tonight.
Yeah. So, when you have 2 ball carriers with over 100 yards, things are going pretty well. That means you're dictating the game. That means you can do whatever you want. You can run the ball. You can run the clock. You can still sprinkle it out, throw on the ball, and that's exactly what Southeast is doing tonight.
Football at the 13-yard line. They'll go back to Gebhardt off the right-hand side. He's stumbling his way towards the first down, and it's going to be very, very close. I don't think he has it. Phillipsburg got good penetration off that D-line that time, Tyler. And Gebhardt kind of stumbled out of his stance a little bit with that football, didn't have it clean, and he will be short.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. So now a big-time 4th and 1 play. Expect anything right now, right? We've seen Southeast play more than anybody this season. They can do a multitude of things.
4th and 1. Phillipsburg comes across the line, and they're going to gift wrap it to Southeast of Saline. They're showing blitz, and said blitzer came across the line of scrimmage, and it's a free 5 yards for Southeast of Saline. That is a killer for Phillipsburg.
Yeah, it's senior Cole Shelton. They just came across the line. You could see that inside linebacker blitz, and again, that's the discipline that Southeast has. They've been going. Now they got to slow things down a little bit. A 4th and 1, hard count them a little bit. Bam, big first down inside the red zone.
First down and 10 from the 7-yard line. It's 1st and goal. Pitch out Gebhardt, left-hand side, has a crease, plants it up, and he's across the goal line for the 4th time tonight. Grady Gebhardt from 7 yards away gets another touchdown for Southeast of Saline, and that is a huge drive because my friend Tyler Smith, that was the drive that started way back at the 15-yard line.
That was, and right there, again, it's one of those, it's a toss play, but it's not meant to go to the outside. It's meant to follow your big nasties up front. It's almost like an inside zone with the toss. Grady just did a great job planting that outside foot and coming in.
It's like we have a player on the field that's getting some attention from the trainers from Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. 9:30 left to go here in the 4th quarter. And that came not only from the drive that started at the 15-yard line, it came off the Tiernan Potacik interception.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I love to highlight things like this. Cash Roth, defensive player for Phillipsburg. Grady Gebhardt's laying on the ground. He's tired. Cash Roth helps Grady Gebhardt up. Again, sportsmanship is so big. Love seeing guys, even a big-time game like this, continue to display it.
Here comes the swinging gate. Southeast of Saline trying to put 2 on the board again. Their point-after touchdowns have not been what they usually are tonight. Phillipsburg's done a really good job, but they haven't ran the gate very often tonight, if at all, if I remember right. Gebhardt goes in motion. Potacik gets the snap from Canyon Douglas. Tiernan rolling out, back of the end zone. There it is. There's the catch to Malachi Hopkins for 2. Southeast of Saline puts 40 on the board with 9:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. Southeast of Saline 40, Phillipsburg 6. Back with more Trojan football after this on KINA.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at southeast of Saline, 40-6, southeast of Saline. Just a dominant second half. First half wasn't bad, let's be honest about that. As Adam Teal out there, he is ready to kick it away. And they'll give Phillipsburg the football once again. 4 touchdowns tonight for Grady Gebhardt, 32 rushing touchdowns on the season, 42 touchdowns total. And that one coming off of a turnover, an interception taken away by Tiernan Potacek. This ball hits the turf. It's going to bounce into Hrenik's hands at the 20, and Tyson Keller is there to take him down. No return for Phillipsburg as Tyson Keller comes in and makes the tackle.
Well, miscommunication for Phillipsburg right there. They didn't know which guy was going to catch the football right there. Nice high sky kick. We've now seen multiple kickoffs from multiple different guys in multiple styles. And we've seen Phillipsburg adjust. Unlike other teams we've seen, on Friday nights in the past, Phillipsburg kind of moves some guys around, kind of understanding that there's going to be a different kickoff every time. But you can't get a rhythm when you have 2 different guys kicking the football off every time. Tyson Keller, big-time play, fires down, makes a good tackle right there on, I believe, Hrenik, who's now had a little bit of a limp afterwards and no longer on the field.
Phillipsburg back at their own 22-yard line after that great special teams play by Tyson Keller. They're going to sneak it into the belly, I think, maybe a Burrish. This might be another one of those plays where Brody Chambers tackled them both again, and I think he did. They got it in the belly that time of one of the running backs, Cooper Gower, who came in, I assume, for Hrenik. And that's going to be a loss of 2 yards.
Well, and it's just demoralizing. I mean, this offense is supposed to wear you down, but it's the defensive line and the linebackers that are wearing this offense down. And you continue to see it. They're just getting pushes, drives. There's no yardage inside the tackles right now for Phillipsburg.
Back at the 20, where it's 2nd down and 12. Tight formation, 1 wide receiver to the left-hand side. Here's the give, and it's going to go straight ahead to the right-hand side. It looks like Cooper Gower is in there at quarterback, Tyler. It's hard to sort that out sometimes because everybody's in such close proximity, but Gower has come in at quarterback. That last play for Phillipsburg went for 6 yards.
Yeah, and trying to find Springer to see if he's anywhere getting medical attention. But, yeah, you're definitely right with Gower.
Gower takes the snap, hands it off to Burrish, and he's spun down by Grady Gebhardt. It's a loss on the play of 3 yards as Gebhardt came in on a jailbreak blitz.
And again, you're not going to take Gebhardt off the field. Coach Mitch Gebhardt probably wants to, but he's not going to win that battle.
But I think that's a great sign if now he's playing defense. I mean, you try to protect him, not hitting people with that shoulder or that arm. Now he's out there playing defense, and you're like, okay, we're good. This time of year, you never know, man. These guys go through so much playing this game. Grady Gebhardt with a TFL there. Here's a punt. It is Holub and Hopkins. Back, Holub's going to make the basket catch over his shoulder. Now back the other way, 35-40. Steps through a would-be tackler at the 45-50. Across midfield, Amarion Holub down the right-hand sideline. It's the first special teams touchdown of the year for Southeast of Saline as Amarion Holub goes 66 yards for a touchdown. Cue the bell again. It's Amarion Holub night at Southeast of Saline.
Devin, almost too good of a punt from Phillipsburg. The term outkick their coverage, we often talk about it for guys like you and I that marry way up higher than we should marry. Right there, that ball was outkicked. All of a sudden, Holub makes the first 3 guys miss because they have no idea where the football is. Then a huge block from Bryson Lippold on this near sideline, and then the rest is Holub taking it to the house.
I will say it again, the first special teams touchdown for Southeast of Saline this year. And it's Amarion Holub. How good has he? We have gushed over him, and I'm not sure we've done it justice. The last 4 or 5 weeks have been awesome for him. He has really, really showed up.
Well, he's done it all season. He's done it his entire career. His issue is he's behind one of the best running backs in the state of Kansas, and he's showing that he's just as capable as Grady Gebhardt is.
Here's a direct snap. Canyon Douglas to Grady Gebhardt, and they walk it in. The gate now working on the 2-point conversions as Southeast of Saline goes for 2 back-to-back. They've extended their lead now 48-6. 7:21 left to go here in the 4th quarter. It's all Trojans here on KINA.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here after the score, not much of a drive to talk about. It was the first special teams touchdown of the year. As I see an interaction between Mitch Gebhart and Grady Gebhart, and Mitch just kind of goes across his chest as, "You're done, bud." Let's go ahead. We're going to put the other guys in. We're going to get some playing time there, but you are going to coaster into practice next week.
And I wonder what that conversation is like. I wonder what Grady says, because Grady, he hates being out of a football game. This guy lives, breathes, and eats Southeast of Saline football, but I think he understands the situation.
Here's the kickoff. Malachi Hopkins. It's going to be tough to handle once again, and Phillipsburg comes up. They make the catch at the 30. Not much of a return there, though, as Tyler Bramblett and company come in there and help make the tackle. In there as well is Josh Watkins for Southeast of Saline. First special teams touchdown, a 66-yard punt return by Marion Hollop. Again, not much of a drive to talk about, but you get that special teams touchdown on the recap, brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook, Maury Clinic Sports Medicine.
And you wonder how much of that's been talked about, in meetings. We talk about it all the time. We can't believe that Southeast hasn't scored a special teams touchdown yet. Well, now they have, and watch out. I'm assuming there might be a couple more still, with the rest of the season ahead.
Let's hope so. Phillipsburg will start this one out at their own 35-yard line. Gower in there at quarterback. Drop the snap. It's a loose ball, and he's going to get on it. I can see him there at the bottom of the pile before Brody Chambers engulfs him. It's going to be a loss on the play for Phillipsburg of 2 yards.
Boy, that's no man's land, right? You don't have the football. You got to get to it. And you got Brody Chambers and the rest of that defensive line and linebackers coming at you. Good job from Phillipsburg to maintain possession of the football.
Second down and 12. Phillipsburg, after the 2-yard loss on the fumbled snap. Tyler Bramblett out there playing a linebacker right now. Phillipsburg trying to stretch it to the outside. And that will be no gain on the play. Actually, 2-yard gain, getting back to the original line of scrimmage for Cooper Gower in there at quarterback. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Caden Berrigan comes trotting off the field. A couple of new Trojans on the scene. Burton Brooks, one of them playing safety. Also Casson Clover out there. Adam Teal is playing corner. Also Jaden Kloster out there. Josh Watkins, he's been in and out of the lineup all night long. Tyler Bramblett's out there. Bryson Lippold is still there. But look at the front three starters, all three of them still there. Here's a drop back. Gowan wanting to pass, had to shake off Watkins, and then he is sacked by Brody Chambers. Brody had 2 sacks last week, another sack here tonight, and Brody Chambers is eating 12 tackles for loss and now 4 quarterback sacks on the season.
And now this really dangerous Southeast Saline punt return team is back on the field.
It's the law firm of Hopkins and Hollop back to return this kick. Football at the 31. 4-yard loss on that quarterback sack by Brody Chambers. Good snap back. A little bit of token heat there by Larry Kalili on that punt. It's going to be a Marion Hollop again, looking for a couple of blocks, and he can't get away. 3 Panthers in there on the scene, and Hollop will bring it out to the 38-yard line. So Southeast of Saline will take over there, and we will see a new quarterback in the game for Southeast of Saline. Freshman Burton Brooks will come into the game. There is a Panther down on the field with 5:25 left to go. 48-6 is our score, Southeast of Saline. So now start looking ahead to next week, right? You start saying, okay, sub-state round, we're going to be back there again. And, boy, what a crazy feeling that is when you're on the doorstep of going to a state title game. And you get to host again. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, right?
You do. And looking ahead, Devin, I mean, you're going to see a team more than likely that runs a very similar offense. And they're going to have different athletes. I mean, Pafanastol's the number 1 junior in the state of Kansas if Hoisington ends up winning tonight. You're going to see the same X's and O's, just different Jimmys and Joes, right? Mm-hmm. It's just who's going to run a little bit better, maybe some tweaking of the play call. But I think tonight was a huge night against a Phillipsburg offense that has just exploded this season. Running the flexbone, you're going to see flexbone more than likely again next week. And if you're able to win next week, I know that nobody else wants to look ahead. It's our job too.
Yep.
But there's going to be more of a run game. I mean, and this defense to me is built to play defense against the run game.
A couple of score checks for you. Rock Creek leading Cheney. This is at the end of the third quarter, and it's still close. Rock Creek 14, Cheney 7. Also, Andale leading Pratt at the end of one, 8-0. Pratt, a very good football team in 3A this year. They have one loss, and that is to Hoisington. Salina Central leading Salina South at the end of one, 14-7. Hayes and Great Bend leading right now, 7-0 at the end of one. El Saline leading Lincoln at the end of one, 6-0. So some scores of some games. Again, we had an hour head start on most of those games around the state of Kansas, so be fun to score watch when we get done here.
Mrs. Amanda Walmsley printing the program.
And how about the coverage? We'll have time to go home and catch the tail end of Salina South, Salina Central on Salina Post.
First down and 10 for Southeast of Saline. Here's LaVon Hopkins in the middle of traffic. Started out right, comes back left, gets to the 41-yard line. For LaVon, 5 yards on first down.
And again, another greaser. That's another grease guy I saw perform today. And again, talking about these performances and still being able to come out here and play football, it's fantastic to see just how much depth these athletes have. They're not just athletes, they're not just great students, they're doing things in theatrical arts as well for Southeast of Saline. And how cool is it to see if you're a third or fourth grade boy and you're watching these dudes out there perform and then come watch them on Friday nights? It's flipping awesome.
42-yard line is the spot. Give LaVon Hopkins 6 yards on his first carry of the night. Now Southeast of Saline is just working that clock. 4:44 left to go here in this game. Here's the belly option this time. Brooks is going to keep it, and he is going to go straight ahead. 2 yards on the play. He'll bring up third down. Burton Brooks gets his first carry.
And you saw right there just that read. That's one thing we've noticed about Brooks in his limited time when he's come in. He's not afraid of the contact. The freshman will take it into the teeth of the defense right there. Anytime you're getting positive yards, a keep is always okay. Takes it in there. Third and short now for Southeast.
3rd and 2 for the Trojans here. Trying to get it across the 45-yard line to the 46. Keep this drive alive as the clock continues to melt down. 4 minutes left to go here in this game. 3rd down and 2. Hopkins directly behind Burton Brooks. They'll turn, give it to LaVon. He'll angle off right-hand side, and a Phillipsburg tackler right there immediately will hold that carry to just a 1-yard gain. Nice job on that play by Zane Shields, the junior.
Yeah, Shields right there just saw an open hole. He met the hole before Hopkins could get there and makes a big-time tackle on Hopkins right there to force a 4th and short for Southeast.
Garden Plain has scored against Hoisington. 2:10 left to go in the first half, 14-7. Hoisington in the Battle of the Birds, the Cardinals and the Owls going at it in Hoisington tonight. 3 undefeated teams of the 8 left in Class 2A. 4th and 1. Brooks turns, gives it to Hopkins. First down, Southeast of Saline. LaVon bounces it out now into Phillipsburg territory, still doing work to the 49-yard line. LaVon Hopkins that time got the first down, kept it going, and he is able to get 6 yards and a first down for Southeast of Saline. Nice job there by LaVon Hopkins, keeping the football in the custody of Southeast of Saline, converting that 4th down play. Tyson Keller has checked into the game. Also out wide right, Casson Clover. Also another check into the game, Jared Friesen in on that offensive line. Austin Bramblett in there as well. James Friesen also playing slot back. Tyler Bramblett to the left-hand side. First down and 10 from the 49. Bad snap, pops straight up in the air. Burton Brooks is going to have it. He's going to go down back at the 41-yard line. This is going to be a big loss on the play, as Southeast of Saline's going to lose 10 yards on that snap and the botched exchange there between center and quarterback. So that'll back them up, well, let's call it 9. Back into Southeast of Saline's side of the field at the 42-yard line. So you don't want to see that, but still not a turnover. So you dodged a bullet there as we go down to the 2-minute mark left in this game. 48-6 is our score. Southeast of Saline football brought to you tonight by Frisbee Construction, also Copyco, APAC Shears, and Steve Z's Abilene Car Sales. I want to say hi to everybody in Abilene watching the game tonight. 2nd down run, straight up the gut to the 45. Now it'll be 3rd down and long. Tyler, it's just kind of methodical, right? You just take the clock down. You don't want to turn the football over. do your job and move on.
It's kind of become an old hat, right? Like, come down here, end the game, and it's just the exact same thing. We've got a lot of young guys in, secure the football, make sure you're getting positive yards, making sure every play is positive. It's exactly what these young guys want to do, and we'll probably see a victory formation if you can convert the first down on 3rd and long.
3rd and 16. Brooks is going to sprint out to the right-hand side. It's a quarterback run play. He gets a couple of blocks, but not enough to form an alley for him. He will get a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. It also takes the clock down to the 1-minute mark on 4th down.
And I'm assuming this is a play right here. You're going to go for it on 4th and long. You don't want to bring a punt team out. You'll just run maybe a similar type of play on 4th and long and just see what you get. You're all right turning the ball over on downs right here. That's perfectly fine. I say that, and what do? You have a punter in Burton Brooks, the freshman, just going to drop back. What can't this guy do?
He is going to punt it away here to Phillipsburg. Back deep, Tanner Hrenik. It's going to be a high snap, and boy, Brooks is going to have to chase down another bad snap. This is going to go all the way back to the 15-yard line. He'd be well served to throw that football and get it out of there, but he was just busy covering it up. And Phillipsburg is going to take over at the 11-yard line, and a big, big loss there for Southeast of Saline of 34 yards.
Yeah, and that's something you're always concerned with. You know, you have different units out there. You don't always see everything. Hey, right now I'm walking on the track, and I see Brody Chambers pointing like he wants to go in. He's saying, and now he's directing that defense to keep them out of the end zone. Again, it's that servant leadership. He's the loudest one on the sideline telling this defense to buckle down. This is still big. It doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter how much time's left. They want to keep Phillipsburg out of the end zone on this final drive.
20.4 seconds remaining. Phillipsburg's going to run a play. They're going to go to the right-hand side. Looks like Burrish has it, and he will take it to the 8-yard line. Sorry, it's not the 8. It's a 4-yard gain to the 18. 13, doesn't matter. 4-yard gain by Phillipsburg, and that is the end of the contest. And you hear a big, big eruption for the crowd supporting Southeast of Saline as postgame is here after another Trojan victory. 48-6, our final score. We'll be back. We'll talk to Mitch Gebhardt on the field. We will also go over final stats for you, and we'll look ahead to another week of Trojan football coming up next week. Postgame begins now, and it's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
The recent storm could have done a real number on your roof, but how would you know? Is your home vulnerable to future damage? Call Bryson Flax at Ryan Roofing today. An in-person roof inspection is necessary to evaluate damage. Rely on Bryson to perform a free roof assessment. Inspect, assess, and resolve. Protect your home and make sure your insurance policy provides the coverage you deserve. Roofs, windows, siding, and gutters on your home or business. Call Bryson Flax at Ryan Roofing, always supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Time for the Trojan Postgame Show on KINA Sports. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan Football on KINA.
Back here on the Commercial Tire Center's postgame report, it's after a Trojan victory, 48-6. Our score here as Southeast of Saline takes care of business. They beat, I think, a very good Phillipsburg squad. This is a team that obviously relying on the run, and when Southeast of Saline took that away from them, they just really couldn't do much. It was another big night for Grady Gebhardt. 4 rushing touchdowns for him, 21 carries, 174 yards. Southeast of Saline, 471 yards as a unit on offense. Take away the last play where they had a bad snap, 34 yards to the negative side of that. But Southeast of Saline tonight, they were multidimensional. Yes, they had 315 yards rushing, but don't underestimate the importance of that 156 yards in the air. Tiernan Potocik tonight had a really, really good game. And I said it at halftime, this was really the first time they asked him to be a quarterback and really kind of engineer a balanced offense. TP tonight went 13 of 17, throwing the football, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Meanwhile, on defense, he took an interception away from the other team, and Southeast of Saline ended up turning that interception into a long 85-yard touchdown drive as they went down the field. And, boy, they just dominated this last second, third, and fourth quarters of this game. And Southeast of Saline starts 11-0. They run the winning streak now to 24 games, and the defending champion in Class 2A is still alive. And I think when you look around the state of Kansas, that's not something people wanted to see after this Phillipsburg team had a chance at him tonight. But Southeast of Saline gets another trophy up in the air as Brody Chambers is always in charge of the hardware, and they put another trophy up in the air. Tyler, as you're awaiting the arrival of Mitch Gebhardt, but boy, the vibes on the field pretty high right now.
And Devin, it's just silly when you think about it, and it just kind of hit me when I saw Jennings and Jacobson stumble and ride their carts, and you're talking about 2 all-state guys that haven't played for weeks, and this team hasn't missed a beat, right? They just continue to go. It doesn't matter what's thrown at them. You know, we hear so much about the other teams that are playing, and it's often a knock on the Southeast team how, you know, they haven't played anybody in the regular season. That's been different this year. It was different last year. The schedule, you know, you make it years in advance, and the schedule has shown that there's some strong teams in it, but they just make it look easy. And I hate to say that because I know it's not easy, but they're just so disciplined defensively, and then offensively, everything works. And I don't think we've seen the complete offensive playbook as of yet. I still think, you know, we saw what Tiernan did tonight. You know, like you said, 13-17, efficient, right? And we saw a couple of those balls just thrown away because that was a smart play to do. So 13-17 for 156. This offense is ticking, and I don't think they're doing everything they can do yet.
Got a halftime score update. Andale doing what Andale usually does. That's the other team in the state of Kansas that has a long 24-game winning streak. Andale leading Pratt at half now 30-6 as the Andale Indians have a big first half. 4 out of the last 5 years now, Southeast of Saline has started 11-0. 4 out of the last 5 years. Let me say that again. Southeast of Saline has been 11-0 4 out of the last 5 years. That is an amazing stat for this Southeast of Saline team and this program, more importantly. It's not just about the guys on the field right now. It's about the guys that have been feeding this program, and it is a juggernaut right now. When you look at the score tonight and what they did to a good Phillipsburg team, 4 out of the last 5 years, Southeast of Saline has been 11-0.
Yeah, they did, Coach. So, Devin, I got Coach. I ripped him away from his family. 4 out of the last 5 years, you guys have started off 11-0, which is just insane when you start doing the numbers. Let's talk about your defense first. Gives up a touchdown on the first drive. Nothing the rest of the game. What was talked about? You talked about the jet sweep. You eliminated all the perimeter run game after that. Just talk about that defense.
Well, I think it was team defense. We did make a little adjustments to help ourselves out. But I think our guys stepped up. They realized that hey, we're gonna have to take care of this sweep. Because if we don't, it's going to be a long night. And they're a good physical football team. I don't want to take anything away from them at all because they do a nice job of what they do. And that 22, I don't know how many yards he had, but he had a lot to start out the game with.
Well, he had over 100 after the first half, much less in the second half. Let's talk about Potocik on that offense. Potocik, we haven't seen him throw the ball that much so far this season. He's 13-17 unofficially for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. And a couple of his incompletions were just him throwing the ball away, not making that mistake. This guy also, along with a lot of your guys, been in a musical all week. Can you just talk about, like, how cool that is that these guys are not just great football players, they're not just great athletes, but everything they do for this community.
We have several guys, and I'm not going to try to name them because I will miss somebody, but we have several. We have several guys in that musical, and it's a long week. I mean, we've done this before, and how proud am I of those guys to miss the sleep that they've missed and do things like that, and then come out here and perform like this. So that's a tribute to their parents and their families and those boys.
Coach, I want to put you on the spot. Favorite Grease musical song? What do you got?
Man. You know what? I'm going to tell my age here. I believe that came out in 1977 or 78, and I went to it for real. And I was talking to like numerous Southeast of Saline people, and they're like, "Dude, you went and saw it like when it came out the first time." I was like, "Yeah." I can't even think of one right now. Sorry, it's not exactly the music that I listen to, but yeah, it's a crazy deal.
Not only great football coach, but Grease pioneer, Coach Mitch Gebhardt. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck next Friday.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Tyler on the field with head coach Mitch Gebhardt as his team now goes to 11-0 on the season. They move on after beating Phillipsburg here 48-6. I want to remind you that you can be an official in Acacia activity. The Kansas State High School Activities Association conducts officials, rules meetings, training clinics, and workshops throughout the state with a view toward providing a sound educational experience for all athletes. For more information on becoming an official in any sport, contact the Kansas State High School Activities Association. This is a public service message from Acacia and KINA and the Salina Post. 48-6, the final score. Boy, this was a game that had its share of stats with it, led by Grady Gebhardt in this rushing attack for Southeast of Saline tonight. Grady ends up with 21 carries, 174 yards, 4 touchdowns once again, just like Al Bundy. He can tell his grandkids about the time he scored 4 touchdowns in a high school football game. Only time, though, he's done it way more than Al Bundy did. 774 tonight, 4 touchdowns. Also, Amarion Holland tonight. We cannot underestimate the night he had. 104 yards on the ground, had a couple of catches, had a punt return for 66 yards and a touchdown. 12 yards on the ground for Tiernan Potacek, 13 for Levon Hopkins. Also, Britton Brooks had 13 yards. Receiving the ball tonight, it's nice to have Caden Berrigan back in the mix. KB tonight, 4 catches, 33 yards for him. Canyon Douglas, 3 catches, 42 yards, including a big 39-yarder in the first half. Bryson Lippold was a stud tonight. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 65 yards. His touchdown catches were 21 and 44 yards, respectively, as he caught the ball twice. And, boy, probably none bigger than that catch at the end of the first half. It was already a lot of momentum on Southeast of Saline sideline, but that Bryson Lippold pass for a screen that he kind of went down the right-hand sideline. I don't even know if it was a screen. It was more of an outplay where he was able to turn his attention up the field and then all of a sudden was able to outrun a Panther down the field. That has to be our Everhart precision pass of the night, closing out the first half in that fashion.
Well, and again, like we talked about, I think that was more of a statement play from Coach Mitch Gebhardt. I mean, a statement drive, if you will. It would have been very easy for them to go into halftime, up 20-6 and just go regroup. We talked about, how things were going offensively, but then to come through with that and to say, hey, we're still going. We're still pin the years back. We talk about the amount of touchdowns this team scores under 2 minutes and then what they do out of halftime. And you cannot overemphasize that enough. When you win the last 2 minutes of a half, and you can win the first 2 minutes of a half, that completely shifts everything of a game, especially when you're playing with the lead a lot. And, every game this season, every game in the last 2 seasons. This team, they're just putting any false hope that you might have, just burying that, and that's huge in the Lippold touchdown. And it was everything. Anytime you're running a play like that, it's taken only 11 guys, but it's Lippold that's going to be celebrated for the touchdown. Just a great play call from that offensive staff. Going back to Coach Gebhardt saying Potacek was yelling. It was Coach Potacek, not Tiernan Potacek, the quarterback. It was Coach Potacek saying, we got to go to this play, we got to go to this play. And that trust that Gebhardt has in everybody wearing purple, not just the players on the field, it's everybody on the sideline, and also his coaching staff.
This defense continues to amaze me. And you said it at halftime. You give up 1 touchdown. Coach Gebhardt said it on the field to you. We made some adjustments to help ourselves out. Like they have cheat codes laying around on the sideline. It's like, hey, let's do that one because this is what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, no points. You give up 1 touchdown. That's it. And the adjustments that they are able to make and the flexibility that they have on defense because of their personnel, every week I walk out of the stadium and I'm amazed.
It's the personnel. You're exactly right. And here's what happens when you rotate as many players as they do is Coach Douglas can talk to his defensive line. He can talk to them because you can put other guys out there and sprinkle in some quote unquote second teamers. There's no longer first and second teamers on this team. It's just, it's Southeast football defense, it's Southeast football offense, it's Southeast football. It's a team, but you can talk to these guys and kind of give them some cues and coach them on the sidelines. A lot of teams at the 2A level can't do that because you have so many guys going multiple ways. This team has multiple guys going both ways. But there's so many of them that you can coach them up. You can talk to them. You know, Dan Campbell got so much credit Mike Vrabel got so much credit a couple weeks ago, you know, coaching his guys on the sidelines, doing this and doing that. It's the exact same thing that's going on this sideline, but you're doing it because you trust the guys that are out there during that current play. There's not a lot of time in football. You can't just call a timeout and start drawing stuff up. There's not that time. The way you buy that time is you get your guys off the field, you talk to them, you insert them back in, and you can do that only when you trust the guys that you're inserting in for them.
If I'm taking two guys shopping downtown at Vernon Jewelers, I'm taking Amarion Holub and Bryson Lippold. Those two guys tonight, and it's not tonight. It's been a trend, right? We've talked about it now the last half dozen games. Bryson's done a really good job. We had a couple of games without Caden Berrigan out there. Bryson Lippold stepped up his receiving game. He has become a serious threat now on this offense, along with what he does on defense. And Amarion Holub tonight, the run that he is on to close out his senior year of football, holy cow, he was electric tonight. And it's almost like you don't panic when Grady Gebhardt comes out when he gets dinged up on that right arm because it's like, 39's out there too. We talk about it all the time. He looks just like him from here, looking down on the field like, is it 39 or 30? We don't know. They run the same. They look the same. They have the same wheels. Marion Holub was awesome tonight.
Yeah, and that punt return just kind of solidified everything that we're talking about. You know, we talked about how this special teams unit of Southeast hasn't scored a touchdown yet, which is just mind-blowing, you know, with the amount of success they have always when they're on the field. But that just solidified his evening. But you're exactly right. Like, he just fights for every single yard. You can't really tell the difference on who's got the football. But I think that a lot of that has to do with the trenches and when everything's going on up front. But, again, it's that plug-and-play that Coach Gephardt's not afraid to do. And that's everything. It's that trust. You know, it's the prove 'em right attitude that it doesn't matter what happens. It's prove 'em right that we're going to do this. We're going to be where we need to be. Again, we're talking about a Phillipsburg team. Great resume coming in. They played their tails off. I mean, that's easily the best football team that Southeast has played this season. Mm-hmm. And it's 48-6. And it's not even close. I mean, Southeast was always in control.
So Phillipsburg team that came in averaging 366 yards of rushing. They leave Southeast with 210 yards rushing tonight. Most of that in the first half, 174 of that in the first half. Second half was just a dominant performance. The Southeast of Saline gets their 11th victory of the season. Again, 471 yards tonight. Tiernan Potapchik was good. Grady Gebhardt was good. Amarion Holub, Bryson Lippold on down the line. On defense, the front three just kind of set the tone. As far as this game went, the linebackers, they're always there to stick their face in the fan, and they did that tonight as well. Tiernan Potapchik, the cornerbacks on the sides, they didn't give up anything big. And again, we're talking about a Trojan victory for the 24th consecutive time. Now, 4 out of the last 5 seasons, Southeast of Saline has been 11-0, and they will have another week of practice, and they will have another game right back here at Southeast of Saline. At last check, 2 games that we really care about. Of course, Salina South and Salina Central at halftime. Salina South is leading 17-14 as the Cougars. Can they continue their magical run as they continue on? They will play South or Central. The winner of that game will play the winner of Hayes and Great Bend. Those two right now tied up at halftime, 14-14. I think a lot of people around the state were wanting to crown Great Bend in this game. Hayes has been through it this year with their schedule. They are ready for playoff time.
Yeah, Tony Crow. I mean, all 4 coaches that we mentioned right there, whether it's Sambo, Azores, Black, or Crow at those 4 respective schools, they are all top-notch coaches. You give anybody a second chance. These are all second-chance games, right? And right now at halftime we're seeing the teams that lost kind of – we obviously haven't seen any of this Hayes-Great Bend game, but these teams that lost week 1 or, the first matchup are now in this game, and that's just what great coaching does.
And it's one of those things when you look on to the next round. If Great Bend wins, they will host the next round. But if Hayes wins and Salina Central wins, Salina will have another playoff game next week. There's all kinds of different scenarios in there, and you got to pay attention and figure it out. Also, Nemaha Central and Sabetha at halftime, that's a touchdown game. Nemaha Central up 14-7, and then the one that we're really going to pay attention to, 20-7, Hoisington leading Garden Plain at the half, 20-7. Once again, Cardinals on top of the Owls. Southeast of Salina will get the winner of that game next week in the sub-state. We call it a semifinal or a Final Four, right? I know we're not supposed to use that term because it's trademarked by the NCAA, but it'll be a game for the right to go to the state championship here next week on this field at Southeast of Saline. We'll wrap it all up with a scoreboard show tonight coming up from 10 until 11 o'clock. Eric Peterson will take you around the state of Kansas with a high school football scoreboard show, scores and game wraps from across the state. Again, 36 games tonight. He'll touch them all. We'll have a game wrap from this game as well. That's for a full hour, 10 until 11 o'clock here on KINA. It's brought to you by Salina Surgical Hospital. Also, don't forget, Kansas Wesleyan, a big day for them. Tyler Henry, our buddy's going to be busy tomorrow. He's doing the South Central game right now. Tomorrow he will have Kansas Wesleyan men's and women's basketball along with Kansas Wesleyan football. So I'm sure he will be looking forward to sitting on the couch Sunday and watching Chiefs Broncos. Pregame at 2 o'clock, kickoff at 3:25 as the Chiefs, coming off a bye week, will go into Mile High in a game that probably need a must-win there if you're the Chiefs. If you want to have any chance at the division, you got to take care of the Broncos tomorrow. Here, though, Southeast of Saline wins at 48-6. They are now 11-0 on the season. They have 24-game winning streak that they will bring into a game right back here next week, where we will see you then. Lily Pad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms, proud sponsor of tonight's game. You can watch it anytime on demand on YouTube at Salina Post on YouTube. Big thanks to Brian Dennett helping us get that live video. Also, Nick Garst producing and engineering. For Tyler Smith, my name's Devin Haney saying thank you for joining us for Southeast of Saline Trojan football. We will talk to you again next Friday night.